Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome inside today's main event. In the left corner, coming in with a record of 18-9 and second in the Southern Division, the Southern Ohio Copperheads. And in the right corner, coming in with a record of 15-13, which is good for tied, or correction, now fourth in the Northern Division, your Grand Lake Mariners. Hello, I'm Donovan Mann, the voice of the Grand Lake Mariners for this summer, bringing you all the play-by-play action for today's matchup between the Southern Ohio Copperheads and your Grand Lake Mariners. Copperheads come in today's matchup having dropped their most recent series against the Cincinnati Steam in a Southern Division heavyweight matchup. That, including those two losses, you add on two more losses that they suffered against the St. Clair Green Giants before that series, and they're now riding in today on a 4-game losing streak. The Mariners come in today's matchup splitting their most recent series against the Monarchs. They dropped the first game before absolutely exploding for 14 runs on 15 hits, and they ended up winning yesterday's matchup against the Monarchs 14-3. The final score in that one. They are now 2-2, splitting their last two series. That is in their, of course, their last 4 games, not on the season where they're 15-13. It's a new day, and the Mariners will be looking to come in with another win here, start this series right, and this is the Mariners' final couple games where they'll be playing teams from the Southern Division. That's right, after today and tomorrow, it's all division opponents from here on out. It's Copperhead Mariners, live from Salina, Ohio, in Montgomery Field. I'll step aside, and when I return, I'll have the national anthem, the starting lineups, and the play-by-play. You're listening to Mariners Baseball right here on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
In time, would you please rise and remove your caps for tonight's singing of our national anthem? Doing the honors from up here in the press box is Robin Layfeld. Robin is a 2018 graduate of St. Henry High School, and she will be attending Ball State University in Muncie, Indiana, to study nursing beginning this fall. She's a 2018 Med Foundation Scholarship recipient and a volunteer at Mercer Health. Robin is also the niece of Mercer Health Home Care Director Sharon Mullenkamp. Now to sing our national anthem, Robin Layfeld.
Oh, say can, oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And there was the national anthem. Now for the starting lineups. First for the visiting Southern Ohio Copperheads. Leading off here today, it'll be Ty Sunkin, the center fielder. Joey Weisenseal will be the shortstop batting second. Batting third will be Ray Zuber, the designated hitter. Blaine Krim, the third baseman, batting cleanup. Batting fifth will be Blake Hillub, the first baseman. Sixth will be Joe Stewart, the right fielder. Zach Combs will be batting seventh, the catcher. Noah Weiner, the second baseman. Of course, he will be batting eighth, and then batting ninth will be Jack Longo, the left fielder. Your starting pitcher for the Mariners here today, it'll be Jordan Peck, a starting righty, getting his next start on the season. Number 12 he wears. This will be only his second start and eighth appearance of the season. Again, he's kind of been put in the starting rotation since the loss of Jordan Beekier. Peck has had to step up and fill that spot in the rotation. Peck is a right-hander, standing at 6'4". He's from Troy, Ohio, attends the University of Charleston, where he'll be entering his sophomore season, and he studies accounting there. He's 3-0 on the season for the Mariners with a 2.25 ERA, 16 innings pitched. He's given up 3 extra base hits, which includes a home run. He's punched out 13 batters and only walked 6. For Charleston this past spring, he had 16 games with 28 2/3 innings pitched, a 4.08 ERA. He punched out 18 batters, and he didn't allow a single home run. Before Charleston, he went to Troy High School, where as a senior, he led the team in innings pitched, wins, strikeouts, and ERA. He was a first-team all-conference selection. Let's go ahead and set that defense now here behind Jordan Peck. Out in left field, it'll be Joshua Riggs. In center field, it'll be Jaron Lovely. Out in right, it'll be Mackenzie Hicks. On third base, it'll be Chris Myers. Shortstop, Blake Crossing. Second baseman, Van Acker. First baseman, Jake McCall. Logan Adams will be doing the catching here today. There is 8 All-Stars currently on the Southern Ohio roster. The Mariners did not have anybody named an All-Star, but they had a few guys just fall a vote short of being named to the roster. But there are 8 All-Stars. I'll name them as they come out here. I'll name them the first time around. That'll bring out Ty Sunkin, the first man up. He is an All-Star this season for the Southern Ohio Copperheads. Again, one of 8. On the season, he has a .344 batting average with a .496 on base percentage. Man who attends Bowling Green State University from Waysoon, Ohio. Peck will deliver the first pitch to Sunkin. It'll be low, ball 1. Sunkin, a right-handed batter, playing center field here today. Here comes the next pitch on the 1-0, right on the inside part of the plate. Count now 1-1. The Mariners are in their alternative home whites with the blue and green stripes that go from about the rib cage to the bottom of their jerseys. White pants, blue hats. It is now 2-1 as that one misses just a little bit high. Here comes the 2-1 pitch to Sunkin. It'll be fouled, tipped back to the backstop. Count now evens up at 2-2 to Sunkin. The Southern Ohio Copperheads are in their orange, neon orange jerseys. I have a neon orange Sharpie highlighter that I use right next to it. Swung on and missed. Down goes Sunkin, and Peck will get the first strikeout of the game on the first batter. I'll bring up Josie Weisenseal now. He's a shortstop now. He steps in. Joe Weisenseal steps up to the plate. Also an All-Star for this season. A man who attends Penn State University. The Nittany Lions junior season coming up. Strongville, Ohio native. Hits .299 with a .394 on base percentage. Here comes the first pitch to him. He'll take on the inside there, curveball. Count goes 0-1. As I was saying, the Copperheads in their orange jerseys, much like you see an orange highlighter. He'll take their ball 1-1 now the count here to Weisenseal. They've got black lettering with about yellow bordering on it and gray pants. They're wearing their dark green, military green hats as well. It's now 2-1 to Weisenseal, as that one missing just a little bit outside. Peck now gathers, delivers. It'll be tapped right to the second baseman, Van Acker, who will just flip it over to first. And that will be the routine 4-2-3 ground out there. Now quickly 2 away to bring up Ryan Zuber. Zuber is also an All-Star, Ray Zuber. Correction, not Ryan, it's Ray Zuber. Man who attends Western Kentucky from Owensburg, Kentucky. He hits .283 with a .404 on base percentage this season. Peck gathers and delivers. The first pitch will be outside, ball 1, 1-0 now to Zuber. It is Ray Zuber the third, by the way. Here comes the gather from Peck. It'll be popped high towards the left field and out of play past the concession stand towards the batting cages. Count now goes 1-1. Peck gathers. He will deliver the 1-1 pitch. It'll be just missing off the plate. Count goes now 1-2. As Peck steps back on with a 2-1 count to his opponent. He'll get another high pop back towards the third base dugout and out of play. Count quickly now 2-2 to Zuber. By the way, for the Mariners, they do have a very good home record. They are currently 9-3 at home. Correction, 9-4 at home. I'll be trying to improve that here today. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called right there on the inside part of the plate. And so 2 strikeouts in the first 3 batters in this game. Peck cruises through this first inning. We'll now head to the bottom of the first. Still no score. We'll talk about the Mariners lineup, the starting pitcher for the Copperheads when we return. You're listening to Mariners Baseball right here on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So the starting lineup for your Grand Lake Mariners, it looks like this. Blake Crossing, the shortstop. You'll be leading off, followed by Evan Spry, the designated hitter. Batting third will be Jake McCall, the first baseman. Chris Myers, the third baseman, batting cleanup. Batting fifth, Joshua Riggs, left fielder for the day. Jaron Lovely batting sixth. Batting seventh will be Logan Adams, the catcher. Mackenzie Hicks, the right fielder, batting eighth. And then bringing up the rear in the 9 hole will be Van Acker. The starting pitcher for the day will be Wesley Piles. Wesley Piles, a man who is getting his 5th start of the season from Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Southeastern Missouri State is his college. For the Copperheads this season, he's 1-1 with a 3.68 ERA. In 22 innings pitched, he's given up 5 extra base hits, which includes 2 home runs, punched out 17 while walking 8. Again, this is a starting lefty, the only starting lefty on the lineup, which could prove to be a little bit of a hardship for the Mariners, who struggle against left-handed pitching. But leading off will be Blake Crossing, the switch-hitting shortstop. He'll be batting right here against the lefty. Here comes the first pitch. It'll be off the bat of Crossing, high and deep into right, going back as the right fielder and making the catch in Stewart. Crossing got some solid contact to that one, just could not get it to leave the park. It was right at the fence. That set that defense now here behind Pelis. It'll be Longo out in left, Suntkin in center, Stewart in right. Krim will be playing third. Shortstop will be Weisenseal. Fourth baseman will be Weiner, and first baseman will be Holub, and Combs will be doing the catching. Here's a first pitch now to Evan Spry, left-handed batting, designated hitter. He looks at ball 1, 1-1. 1-0 now the count to Spry. Here comes the second pitch to him. It would be called strike 1. 1-1 now the count here to Spry, a man who hits .233 with a .382 on-base percentage for the Mariners this season. Man who from Janesville, Wisconsin, who attends Creighton University. Here comes the next pitch to Spry. It'll be an off-speed pitch on the outside corner. 1-2. This is the same umpire we saw in the second game against the Scouts as Spry swings and misses. This one ends up a wild pitch, though, but it will be thrown down to first to complete the strikeout. There's now 2 away. This is the same umpire behind the plate that we saw against the Scouts in the second game, so expect a wide strike zone, especially when it comes to the inside part to right-handed batters. We'll see how that continues to develop, though, here today. That will now bring in Jake McCall, the first baseman, the third man in the lineup. He'll look at a first pitch just a little bit low, ball 1. McCall, by the way, infielder from Bloomington, Illinois, attends Illinois State. For the season, he has a .280 hitting percentage with a .432 on base percentage. Here comes the next pitch to him. It'll be now 2-0. It is now 2-0. The pitch, the check swing, the appeal. Did he go? No, he did not. Count goes 3-0 here to McCall. Piles gathers, delivers the 3-0 pitch. Popped off the glove right to the first baseman, and taken by himself will be Hylub, and that will retire the side. McCall got himself into a 3-0 count, just could not, ended up tapping it weakly to the first baseman, unassisted ground out to first. And so they go in order in this one. We'll head to the top of the second. Still no score. You're listening to Mariners Baseball live on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. So Jordan Peck returns out to the mound here to start the top of the second. He went through a 1-2-3 top of the first, including got 2 strikeouts, one of which was swinging, one of which was looking. He'll now be trying to hold this score at 0-0. Apiece. As now the defense remains the same. Again, due up will be Blaine Krim, Blake Hillub, and Joe Stewart for the Copperheads. Blaine Krim, also an all-star on this lineup. Again, they mentioned they have 8 of them on this Copperheads roster. Krim, the man from Mississippi College, Mobile, Alabama native, hits .414 with a .432 on-base percentage for the Copperheads. He can swing the bat. And he'll look there at a first pitch at the low part of the corner. Count goes 0-1. Caught the corner nicely there by Peck, who's going to have a really hard day. This is also a man with 38 RBIs and 18 doubles. He can swing it. That one's low. 1-1 now the count here to Krim. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, and this one will be picked off there by Van Acker. It almost got into right field, but Acker was able to extend the glove out, make the catch, and he will be retired for the first time he's up. That'll bring up Ray Cullum now steps in, man from Houston, Texas, St. Edward's University, correction. He has a .347 hitting percentage as he knocks this one over to the third baseman, and Myers thrown over to first, and he will be retired quickly. 5-3 the play there. Ray Cullum also has a .363 on base percentage, but he does not get aboard this time. He will have to take the walk back to the dugout. That'll now bring up Joe Stewart, right fielder. Stewart is not an all-star, neither was Holub. Stewart, the man from Portage, Michigan, looks at the first pitch low there, ball 1-0. Well, for Stewart, he hits .269 with a .406 on-base percentage. Man who attends Michigan State there. He's a Spartan. He tries to check his swing. He does, as that one misses the plate. 2-0 quickly here to Stewart, the right fielder. As Peck now delivers, trying to get through this inning just as quickly as he did the last. He'll deliver the ball just a little bit missing inside. Quickly 3-0 to Stewart. Tell you what, we'll see if the strike zone continues to be inconsistent, because that could have been called a strike in the first inning, but we'll continue to see how this goes. Again, early in the game, umpires certainly have a hard job calling balls and strikes. This time it catches the high corner on the inside part of the plate. Count goes 3-1. Peck will deliver the 3-1 pitch. It's off the bat, completely obliterates the bat right to Blake Crossing. The shortstop throw across the horn. It takes a bounce, does not get into the glove of Crossing, and the runner will be safe. That one completely, absolutely just shattered the bat. The handle's over here, just barely up the first base line. I see a couple splinters of it going down to the third base line. I think the barrel of the bat actually ended up in the shortstop position. That bat just ended up in absolute splinters. We'll see how they rule that one, if they ruled an error or a hit. It will be an error on the shortstop. So it'll be an E6 there on Crossing, who struggled a little bit defensively today, struggled a little bit defensively on the season. And for Crossing, that is now his 6th error of the season. So it'll bring in now Scott Combs. He steps into bat as he swings and misses. He's a Northview, Michigan native. 0-1 count as he swung and missed on the first pitch. Peck checks in at first. He will gather and deliver the 0-1 pitch. This one will just miss the plate. 1-1 now the count. By the way, if you're wondering about Joe Stewart's speed, he does have 3 stolen bases. Not a high number at this course of the season. There's one man that you have to worry about on this roster, Jack Longo, with 17 stolen bases. He's been caught out. His first, he'll be in the bottom of this order. We'll see if he can't get aboard, and this will be ball 2 now here as it misses high. 2-1 now to Combs. They've got a couple guys who can really light up the bases with their base running. They got 3 of them with double digits. 2-2 now the count here to Scott Combs. As always, my view is right down the first base line, about halfway between home plate and the first base bag. Mariners, of course, right underneath me in their home dugout on the first base, and third base dugout the opposing Copperheads. As the runner goes on this, throw down by Adams will be in time. It gets high. It's a high throw as Stewart slides in with a stolen base. That one was thrown high. Van Acker did a great job, though, of keeping it out of center field. The count is now 3-2 here to Combs. Joe Stewart in scoring position now on second base. A 3-2 full count here to Combs, the right-handed batter. A lot of righties we've seen here lately. Of course, the Mariners are very left-handed heavy, but it just seems the past few opponents we've had have all been right. This one off the bat goes foul, though, down the first base line. Just got the tip of his bat to that one. Fouled it off to stay alive. Count full still at 3-2 with 2 outs, runner on second. No score here in the top of the second. I believe he actually I believe he broke his bat a little bit on that one, so we will go get a new piece of lumber. It did kind of sound like that one might have caused a little bit of a fracture to the bat. It had a kind of that cracking sound to it, but he does go get a new stick, and he's ready to go again with a full count. We'll see how this new piece of wood favors for him as he steps back in. Peck looks in for his sign. Gathers, sets, checks a second, delivers. Swung on and missed. The new wood did not favor him, and he'll go down swinging. It'll be the 3rd strikeout of the day for Peck, and they get out of this inning with 1 error, 1 man left on base. No hits, no error, no runs. We now head to the bottom of the second. Still tied at no runs apiece. Due up for your Mariners, it will be Chris Myers, Josh Riggs, and Jaron Lovely. This is Mariners Baseball live on the Mariners Media Network. Wesley Piles steps back out onto the mound to get his second inning of work. It'll be Chris Myers, Joshua Riggs, and Jaron Lovely due up. Chris Myers, the third baseman, the leadoff man for this inning. He steps now back in, getting ready to go here. Still no score, no hits either. Only one error has allowed the only base runner now in 2 innings. But Chris Myers, he wears number 40, hits .333 with a .402 on-base percentage, the man who attends the University of Toledo from Miamisburg, Ohio. Myers steps back in. Myers, in yesterday's game, had 5 runs batted in as he swings and chases the high one there. Count goes 0-1 to him. In the first inning, he got the scoring started in what was a monster game for the Mariners. He got a 2-run homer with 2 outs. And then in the second inning, part of that 10-run second inning yesterday, he had 3 RBIs on a double. He cuts and misses on a one outside the zone. Again, he's now quickly in the count 0-2. That home run yesterday, by the way, was his first of the season. He steps back in. 0-2. Here comes the delivery. He watches this one bounce out well in front of the plate. Count goes 1-2 to him now. That's something we've seen with Myers, is he's kind of aggressive on the first 2 pitches. Then he kind of backs it off a little bit. He does draw his walks. Has a really good job of being patient at the plate, but he also likes to chase some stuff too. Here comes the pitch to him. He'll go chasing one there. He'll go down swinging. The second strikeout of the day for Piles, and that'll retire the first batter. That'll bring up another man who likes to chase pitches, but also can sling them out of the park. It's Joshua Riggs, the left fielder. Riggs, who attends Alma College. He's an Irons, Michigan native. He hits .257 with a .316 on-base percentage. He'll be batting right here against the lefty. Here comes the delivery. He'll watch this one there at the knees. Count goes 0-1 with 1 out, nobody aboard. Still no score here in the bottom of the second. Piles delivers the 0-1 pitch. Just off the plate. Count goes 1-1. 1-1 pitch to Riggs. This will be called strike 2. 1-2. Tell you what, all 3 of these pitches seem to be right in the same spot. And 2 have been called a strike. 1 was been called a ball. Again, I mentioned with this umpire, we've seen some inconsistencies with it. This one off the bat of Riggs, right to the third baseman, thrown across, and that will complete the play. Krim to Holub, 5-3. And there's now 2 away here in the bottom of the second. That'll bring up Jaron Lovely, center fielder for the day. He hits .301 with a .400 on-base percentage. He's from Slayersville, Kentucky, and he attends Marshall. Lovely yesterday, he had a big game. He had 2 home runs. 1 was in the second, 1 was in the fourth. He also drew 2 walks as well. He had a very big day yesterday as he hits this one high into shallow left. Coming in will be the left fielder in Longo, and that will retire the side. They go in order here for the Mariners, but we're still tied at no score apiece. We'll now head to the top of the third, where Peck will try to defend that scoreless streak we have going on right now. Due up will be Noah Weiner, Jack Longo, and Ty Sunken for the Copperheads. This is Mariners Baseball live on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Returning to the mound, Jordan Peck for the top of the third inning. And the Mariners will be trying to hold this 0-0 tie until they can get on the board first. It'll be Noah Weiner, Jack Longo, and Ty Sunken due up for the visiting Copperheads. I'm Donovan Mann, the voice of the Mariners, bringing you all the play-by-play action here on what is a beautiful, beautiful Thursday evening. We'll go now get the weather for you here as the sun continues to set. It is currently 82 degrees, and it's actually 80 degrees. It feels like 82. A small 3-mile-per-hour breeze coming out of the northeast, 48% humidity. The sun will be setting around 9:09 here today. Of course, the days are getting shorter now. As we are in the summer season, they'll start to get shorter as we head towards the winter season. Mariners defensively return out. Peck gets ready to deliver the first pitch to Weiner, the second baseman. Here it comes. A little bit low, ball one. For Weiner here as he enters in for his first at-bat. Was not named an all-star for this team. This one is delivered just a little bit inside, missing. Count goes now 2-0. Weiner has a .250 batting average with a .377 on-base percentage from Murraysville, Pennsylvania. He attends Ohio University. As he swings and misses through this one, the count now 2-1 to Weiner. By the way, the Copperheads do play down in Athens, Ohio. They actually use the Ohio University field. They use the Ohio University dorm rooms, as this is big cut on a miss there by Weiner. Quickly now to count 2-2 after going up 2-0 was Weiner. And they also use an Ohio University bus to go from place to place. They've got it made down there. They use all their interns are from Ohio University as this is tipped back to the screen. Count now still 2-2 to the leadoff man for the inning. They get all their resources from Ohio University, which is pretty good for them. Athens not a bad place to be. Weiner takes one that's at eye level there. Count full now at 3-2. As the Copperheads try to break open first, Peck will be trying to get this first batter. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. It'll be swung on and missed. Fourth strikeout of the day for Peck. He's having a really good day out there, getting guys to chase. That'll now bring up Jack Longo, the left fielder. He comes up for his first at-bat here today. Jack Longo from Mayfield, Ohio. He also attends Ohio University. Hits .288 with a .397 on a base percentage. Already talked about his ability to steal bases as he takes strike one there at the outside corner at the knees. 0-1 to Longo. He has 17 stolen bases, so when he gets aboard, watch for him to try to run. This will be just a little bit off the plate. Ball one. 1-1 now the count here to Longo. Last time we saw Peck, it was against the St. Clair Green Giants. He had a pretty good outing there. They ended up winning that game. It was a game in which we saw a little bit of everything, some home runs, some lead changes, and Chris Myers had his first time on the mound in that one, and this is one tapped off the bat here of Longo, thrown over to first. It will be not in time. Just a little bit. Again, we did mention Longo has that speed, and now we'll get to see if he tries to steal here today. Mariners, and particularly Logan Adams, has had a hard time in keeping runners from stealing on him. He doesn't have quite the strong of arm that Tyson Hayes has. It'll be an infield single, though, for Longo, the first base hit of the game here in the top of the third. Now to bring in Ty Suntkin. He's 0 for 1 on the day. He struck out swinging his last time up. Peck now delivers the first pitch. Check swing, but it's called a strike anyway. 0-1 here to Suntkin. Again, Longo with those 17 stolen bases. Ty Suntkin, one of the better hitters at .344 for this lineup. It could be a bad combination with a solid ball here for the Mariners. Peck has got to deal around that walk. Runner goes. Here comes a throw down to second. It will not be in time. He slides off the base on the play. His hand just went off the bag, so a very rare moment in which Longo is caught stealing 2-4. And there's now 2 outs. That eliminates the 1-out single. And that'll now bring Ty Suntkin exclusively with a 1-1 count. 1-1 pitch as it's foul, tipped back past the first base dugout. And count now goes 1-2. I tell you what, Adams must have heard me talking about how he's had a hard time catching base runners, because he sure delivered a strike on that one to throw. Here comes the 1-2 pitch off the bat of Suntkin. It's high, deep into right, and foul and out of play. Count now goes 1-2. Mackenzie Hicks had trotted over that way, but he just, at the end of the day, just let it go. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. 1-2 pitch, correction. It's now 2-2 as that one misses low and outside. Count evens up. Suntkin already struck out once here today. It was swinging. We'll see if Peck can't get him a second time. Here comes the pitch. It'll be popped back in towards the first base dugout now. Count holds at 2-2 with 2 outs. The Mariners, by the way, we'll see how this pitch goes. Now, I may talk about what I'm going to say here, but if Peck gets him out. Here comes the pitch off the bat. here. If Sunkin goes over to left field and will drop for a single there. So it's a single there for Sunkin with 2 outs. That will now bring up Joe Weisenseal here in the 3rd inning. He's 0 for 1 of the day, grounded out to second his last time up. For Sunkin, by the way, if you're worried about his wheels. Ty Sunkin does have 2 stolen bases on the year. Weisenseal steps in now, though. The man who attends Penn State. As I was saying, the Mariners are in these interdivision plays, North versus South. They are actually 9-5 on the season. As diving back safely will be Sunkin. No pitch. Mariners are 9-5 against Southern teams. Most recently, it was against the Scouts where they split the series, but they've swept a couple of their opponents, including going 4-0. A bunt is shown here, but it's pulled back as it's in the opposite side batter's box. 1-0 now the count. But they swept the Jazz 4-0 on the season. They did get swept by the Graders 0-2 in a doubleheader. But all in all, interdivision play has been very good for them. They're 9-5, trying to make it 10-5 here on the season. Bunt is shown. It is bunted as he tried to pull it back. He really did. It did look like Weisenseal was trying to pull that one back, but it ended up making contact right next to his chest and rolled foul down the first base line. The count now 1-1. Interesting that they would try. They must have some trust in Weisenseal's speed. He does have 10 stolen bases, so that's a good indicator. You know, that's trust, because with 2 outs, you don't normally bunt. Throw back to first here. Sunkin gets back in time. Still, the count holds at 1-1 with 2 outs. Not normally do you bunt with 2 outs. Normally, the bunt is used to try to advance someone from first to second or second to third. Not often, though, is it with 2 outs. We'll see how this develops. We'll see if Weisenseal will swing away here. He does. This one's off the bat right to Jack Coney. He'll flip it over to shortstop, and Crossing will tag the bag. And the Copperheads are retired here, but they do get 2 hits, no runs, no errors, and no men were left aboard in this inning. It was 4-6 the ground out. We now head to the bottom of the 3rd. Still scoreless here in Salina, Ohio on Montgomery Field. You're listening to Mariners Baseball live on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Wesley Piles returns out to the mound with no score here as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Mariners have their bottom of the order. Logan Adams, Mackenzie Hicks, and Van Acker due up in the bottom of the 3rd here, trying to break the scoreless tie here. Mariners have done a good job of scoring here at home. They've had a couple of comeback victories, but yesterday they jumped out first and never looked back in what was a monster game for them. Logan Adams will step in for the first time here today. Wears number 18, the man from Knoxville, Tennessee, attends Dartmouth College. He'll be a sophomore there this coming season. He hits .319 with a .426 on-base percentage as he now steps in for his first at-bat. Last time we saw him was in the first game back on back on Tuesday against the Monarchs. In that game, he had a pretty decent outing. He was 1 for 3 with a walk as well. He steps in now for his first at-bat. He'll be batting right here against the lefty. Piles delivers the first pitch. It's called a ball just off the plate. Count 1-0 here to the catcher, Logan Adams. He started out really hot, did Adams. He's kind of cooled down here as of late. Still hits .319, though, on the season. Strike 1 call there just on the outside portion of the plate. Count goes 1-1. Adams, he does have a .319 batting average with a .426 on-base percentage. He takes strike 2 there, right there at the knees. 1-2 quickly here now to Adams after he drew the first walk, after he got the first ball. He started off though hitting over 400, then kind of cooled down. Catchers again, you don't mind them being a little bit off offensively as long as they continue to work defensively, and that's what he's done. He's never delivered any bad throws to the plate he always holds when he has to. 2-2 count here. Now 3-2 as both these last two pitches missed low. So it's a 3-2 pitch, a 3-2 count now here to Adams. The gather, and Piles delivers the payoff pitch. It'll be called ball 4. Adams will get aboard. The first base runner the Mariners have had today. It's via the leadoff walk by Logan Adams. Again, he did mention that 426 on base percentage. He can draw his walks. And now we'll see how they decide to use him. He does have 3 stolen bases on the season. If he gets a chance, he'll run. And we'll see how now that Piles approaches Mackenzie Hicks, right-handed batter stepping in. Where's number 37? Hits 261 with a 346 on-base percentage. The delivery, off the bat, past the diving play by the third baseman. That will allow a single now, the first base hit for the Mariners. There's runners on second and first as Adams advances to second. Boy, that could have been very dangerously a double play ball there, but the third baseman in Krim tried to dive and go for it, and it just got past his glove. That now brings up Van Acker. He's been swinging it better as of late. He's brought himself from having an .067 batting average to now a .200 batting average in the past couple games. Of course, he's getting more playing time with some injuries the Mariners have faced. Here comes the first pitch to him. Shows bunt. It's popped and past the diving play of the. It was a high bunt and the dive. And it will be a base hit as Acker. Piles tried to dive for that one. It was just a little bit wide of him. And now the bases are loaded with nobody out. Mariners have a golden opportunity with the leadoff walking out back-to-back singles. Blake Crossing steps in, flew out to right his last time up. And with that deep contact to right, again, even if he gets that, he'll drive in a run and get the Mariners a 1-0 lead. We'll also see how they play this. Right-handed switch hitting. Switch hitting Blake Crossing. He'll be batting right here against the lefty. He swings and taps that one to the screen. Count goes 0-1. Piles tried to make that diving play to get Acker out. It was a pop pretty high off the bat. He could not get to it, though. And now 0-1 the count here. Piles will step on and delivers the pitch. Taking there for a ball by Crossing. It's inside. 1-1 now here to Crossing. Crossing, a man who, again, has a .320 hitting percentage with a .383 on-base percentage. Man from 10th Dartmouth. Biochemistry major entering his junior year. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. He checks swings, but it's called a strike anyway. Looked right about in that same spot as the last pitch, but this one will be called a strike. Count goes now 1-2. Here quickly to Crossing. He steps in. Piles gathers, looks in for his sign. Gathers at the waist, gets his grip, and the 1-2 pitch to Crossing. He'll pop this one, fouling it off to stay alive. It'll go back and out of play. Count holding at 1-2. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the third. The bases are loaded. It's Van Acker on first, Mackenzie Hicks on second, both with singles, and Logan Adams drew the leadoff walk. He stands on third. Time is called here. Van Acker with those 11 RBIs on the season, looking to try to get at least number 12. Could get 13 with a good hit here, though. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Crossing will tap this one off his bat right to the shortstop. Will not have a play at first. It will go to. He doesn't have the play at second. He'll go over to first, and a run will score on a sacrifice ground out RBI there. And the Mariners take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the third. It's a sacrifice RBI ground out. Play was 6-3. And that advances the runners to second and third. Hicks is on third. Acker is on second. We're going to bring up Spry, who struck out swinging his last time up. 1 out only. Here comes the first pitch. He'll swing and miss. It was a slow swing on something low and out of the zone. Spry has kind of struggled lately with swinging at stuff low. His batting average has dropped significantly in the late goings. He's now at a .233. He was one of the better hitters not that long ago, statistically. But it's everybody slumps. It's baseball. That's just kind of what happens. He'll look at a ball there, 1-1. And nobody's going to be riding a hot bat the entire season. They'll eventually cool off and just kind of slow down. We'll see if Spry can relocate what he's had, though, in the early parts of the season. 1-1 count to him delivered. Outside, ball 2, 2-1. And now there's a runner on second and runner on third, remind you. Nobody on first after Crossing grounded into a sacrifice ground out RBI. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. He'll take there. It'll be just a little bit low and inside. The count evens up now at 2-2 to Spry. As Spry now sets. Piles delivers the 2-2 pitch. Off the bat of Spry, this one goes into center field. It will drop for a base hit. That'll score Hicks from third. And they will go ahead and hold Acker at second. It'll be an RBI, or Acker at third. It'll be an RBI single for Spry. And now 2-0 Mariners on top on their third base hit of the inning and of the game. There's only one out still. That'll bring up Jake McCall. He grounded out back to the first baseman his last time up. He steps in. He's 0 for 1. With a runner on third, it'll be Jake McCall looking for his 17th RBI of the season. He is second in that category with 16. Joshua Riggs with 17 leads the team. That'll be outside, ball 1. Still only one out here, 1-0 the count here to McCall, left-handed batter going up against Piles. Piles with that 3.68 ERA and 22 innings pitched. He certainly looks like one of the best guys out there. Runner goes. It looks like a double steal play, and playing it on the hop there as there's now 2 outs. Spry went to second. He got in there safely. It was an attempted double steal. Hicks, though, will be caught. Actually, correction, Acker will be caught on the play. Trying to go home. The throw was played on a hop by the catcher in Combs, and he got caught trying to jump over the mitt. And now, with a runner on second, McCall has 2 outs and a 2-0 count. So give the stolen base to Spry there, but Acker was caught. And now 3-0 here to Spry. 2-0 now still. The Mariners on top here in the bottom of the third. We'll see if they can hold on. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. It'll be taken there for a strike all the way by McCall. Right there on the outside corner at the knees. McCall steps back in. The gather by Piles. In the glove, he'll get his grip at the waist. And the 3-1 pitch. McCall swings and fouls this one off. Count now full as it goes out of play down the left field line. Actually, it was caught by one of the pitchers, I believe, maybe out in the bullpen for the Copperheads. So now 3-2. The play, 2 outs, runner on second. Myers stands in with the full count. The payoff pitch. He takes all the way. It's ball 4, and he will draw a walk here. So McCall now takes first. On second is Spry. Chris Myers struck out swinging his last time up back in the second. He's 0 for 1. He'll step in. He's a man who delivered in a big way twice yesterday. One time it was a 3 RBI double in the second inning, of which the Mariners scored 10 runs, and then he also opened up the scoring yesterday in the bottom of the first with a 2-run shot to center field. See if he can't deliver his second home run of the game, or just try to get the runner in from second. He'll take those strike 1 on the outside corner. 0-1 now the count. As Myers steps back in. Check back to second. By Piles to delivery. He'll take there, low and outside. Ball 1, 1-1. Now the count, 2 outs, runner on first, runner on second. Mariners lead 2-0 here in the bottom of the third. It's been a quick inning up to this, or been a quick game up to this point. The Mariners have finally been able to get something rolling. Still only about 40 minutes into game time though. Here goes the 1-1 pitch, and he will take all the way. Count now 1-2. Piles over Myers, the cleanup hitter. Again, struck out swinging his last time up. Myers now steps back in. Again, left-handed batter versus left-handed pitcher. Check back here to second. And the 1-2 pitch. Myers elevates a high fly one here, but it'll be too high, not deep enough. Goes over to the left fielder in Longo, and that will retire the side. The Mariners do manage to score 2 runs on a total of 3 hits. No errors, and there were 2 abandoned on the bags. We now head to the top of the 4th. The Mariners on top, 2-0. This is Mariners Baseball Live on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. As Jordan Peck returns to the mound for the top of the fourth, we'll go ahead and get you some updates on some scores from around the Great Lakes Summer League. As part of a doubleheader in the first game today, between the Sugar Beets and the Settlers in Licking County territory, the Sugar Beets beat the Settlers 10-2, and they are now on top in the bottom of the seventh. Settlers trying to come back. In that one, they're down 2-3 to the Sugar Beets. Again, each game only goes to 7 in doubleheader rules for the Great Lakes Summer League. Cincinnati Steamer beating the Lima Locos up in Lima. At the bottom of the second, it's 3-0. Clippers are leading 5-0 over the Hamilton Joes in Hamilton. Bottom of the second there, 5-0. Clippers on top on the road. Green Giants lead in the top of the second, 3-0 over the Richmond Jazz in Richmond. In the bottom of the second, no score between the Xenia Scouts and the Monarchs in Xenia. And the Leprechauns lead 2-0 in the bottom of the second over the Graders. And that is all for the updates from scores around the league. As Peck returns in, it'll be the left-handed batter, Zuber, stepping in again, an all-star for the year. He's 0 for 1, struck out looking his last time up. He'll take a first pitch strike on the curveball there. Count goes 0-1. Again, Zuber, an all-star, hitting .283 with a .404 on-base percentage, 15 RBIs as he hits this one, rockets it into right field, and it will go foul. Count goes 0-2. That one was hit hard, but he was just out in front of it to knock it foul. And Peck gets away from possibly a double there on that one. Count instead 0-2 to Zuber. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Just a little bit outside. Count goes 1-2. Zuber, the man who attended Western Kentucky these past couple seasons, he has 48 appearances with 44 starts for Western Kentucky. He hit .315 as he looks at one that bounces out in front of the plate. Count now 2-2 for Zuber as well. He hit .315, 4 doubles, and 3 triples, 3 home runs as well, and 22 RBIs for Western Kentucky. He's out in front of that one in a ground ball foul down the first base line. Count holds it 2-2 to Zuber, the third. Sun continues to set. The shadows continue to stretch from right to left across the field. That's ball now outside. Count now full to Zuber. It's now 3-2 count. Nobody out here to the leadoff man. 3-2 pitch. It's swung on and fouled back out of play towards the parking lot. No shatters, so everybody's windshields are okay. 3-2 pitch. The pitch to Peck. Delivers. Cut on and miss. Down goes swinging. Second time today Zuber is struck out. And that'll also be the 5th strikeout of the game for Peck. Having a really good day. He hasn't walked anybody either. He's only given up 2 base hits. And he did allow a man did reach on an error. And there was a stolen base off that error as well. But Peck, again, has a pretty good strikeout to pitch ratio with a 13-6 coming into this game. He's improved that here, and he'll deliver a first pitch ball here now to the new man on the mound, Blaine Krim, lined out back to the second, back in the second to the second baseman. Here comes the delivery to him. It'll be just a little bit outside and low. Count now goes 2-0 quickly here to Krim. Peck delivers the 2-0 pitch. And this one misses low again. Quickly 3-0 here to Krim, an all-star. Again, one of the best hitters in the league with 38 RBIs, 414 hitting percentage, 432 on base percentage, and 18 doubles, and a triple as well as 4 extra base hits. This is a high fly ball going into right. Back at the fence is Mackenzie Hicks, and it will be caught there right on the warning track. And that will be out number 2 as he goes right to the warning track and Mackenzie Hicks makes the catch. That could have been the first run of the game there for the Copperheads, but it was just high, and it was high but not deep enough. So it was right at the fence. Now I'll bring up Caleb Holub. He grounded out to third his last time up. Here comes the first pitch to him. It'll be a curveball strike right there at the inside part of the plate to the right-handed batter. 0-1. Holub again, man who attends St. Edward's. Ball low there, 1-1 now they count. Holub doing a very good job as of late, hitting .347 coming into this game. He's been pretty good for the Copperheads, but we'll see if Peck can't kind of calm him down. If the entire Mariners staff can't seem to cool him off just a little bit. The Mariners kind of looking for a win streak. They had a 6-game win streak that was snapped by Saginaw about a week and a half ago, as now it's quickly 3-1 here. Those last couple ones missing inside and low. It's 3-1 here quickly to Holub. Peck delivers the 3-1 pitch. It'll be swung on and popped down and towards the Copperhead dugout on the third base side. Count now full at 3-2 to Holub. Peck trying to get his second 1-2-3 inning, and now the fourth inning. Here comes the pitch. Strike 3 called. It'll be his 5th strikeout of the game. Correction, 6th strikeout of the game. And here in the bottom, we now head to the bottom of the 4th. 2-0 Mariners leading as they go in order for the Copperheads here in the top of the 4th. This is Mariners Baseball live on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. It'll be Joshua Riggs, Jaron Lovely, and Logan Adams due up for your Grand Lake Mariners. I'll be right back. So, welcome back out to Montgomery Field in Salina, Ohio. Donovan Mann, the voice of the Mariners. Joshua Riggs now steps in, getting his first pitch. He'll take an inside high fastball there. It'll go 1-0 to him. Defensive change here that will also go to the batting order. Ty Sunkin, who had a pretty awkward slide out in center field, he's been replaced by Mason Nadeau. Riggs takes a strike one there. It's now 1-1. And Nadeau will take over the top of the order as well as he goes out into center field. It's 1-1 count here now to Riggs. Riggs will swing and he'll get way ahead of this one as he absolutely smokes it into the right field fence. Foul. Count now 1-2. That's what Riggs does. He is very much a power hitter. He's actually a starting pitcher for the Mariners for the most part, but he also gets some time at bats, and he loves to smoke balls out of the park. And the 0-2-1-2 pitch is grounded to short and thrown over to first to get Riggs out for the second time here today. 6-3 the play there. Then I'll bring up Jaron Lovely. He flew out to left his last time up. He bats left here against the lefty. As the Mariners again lead 2-0 on 3 hits to 2 from their opponents. Mariners have 3 hits, and they've scored 2 runs off of them. They'll be trying to get back to where they left off in the first, or correction, in the third. They had the bases loaded with nobody out, and were able to score 2 off of that. That's strike 1, though, in the inside corner there to Lovely. Count goes 0-1. Lovely, a center fielder. He kind of basically took over that spot after Ryan Stacy went down with a strained oblique. That one's a wild pitch that bounces out in front of the plate, gets away from the catcher. But nobody aboard, no need to chase. 1-1 now the count here to Lovely. Ryan Stacy, again, he was one of the better hitters. He ended with a .326 batting average and 3 home runs with 15 RBIs when he left. And he's kind of was missed there in a little bit of a stretch, but the Mariners have some of them have found their bats. He's definitely been replaced, and not that you could say you can replace a guy by any means, but he certainly is. They've been missing him less and less as of late when guys' bats have warmed up. As Lovely steps back in with a 1-2 count, 1 out. Piles delivers, He cuts and misses and chases one low that gets away from the catcher. Throw down to first will complete the strikeout. And that'll be the third strikeout of the game here for Piles. And there's now 2 away. 2-0, Mariners still lead. That brings up Logan Adams, who walked his only time up here today back in the third. He bats right here against the lefty. Still 2-0, Mariners on top here on what is a beautiful, kind of warm for my taste, but still a beautiful Thursday evening as the sun continues to set. Taking all the way on the low one there. 1-0. Adams steps back in. Came around to score on a sacrifice fly. This one's off the bat and comes over. The shortstop will make the play over to first. That one was tapped pretty hard, but the shortstop was able to slide over in Weisenseal. And that will get the final out, 6-3 again. And the Mariners go in order here in this one. And they still lead 2-0 over the Southern Ohio Copperheads as we head to the top of the 5th. Mariners on top. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back on the Mariners Media Network. And the top of the 5th now, Mariners still on top 2-0 here as Joe Stewart, Scott Combs, and Noah Weiner are due up here for the Southern Ohio Copperheads coming into Montgomery Field for a 2-game series. The only 2 times these 2 teams will face off as it is an interdivisional matchup. And both of the games will be here at home for the Mariners. Trying to take the first game here and improve to 10-5 in interdivision play and 16 and 13 on the season. Try to hold on to that tie they've got right now with the Saginaw Sugar Beets for that 3rd and final spot. Saginaw Sugar Beets, though, do have the better record against the top of the division, which is the 2nd tiebreaker after head-to-heads. They're tied at 1-1, but still with 2 more games to play. And so Lima, by the way, is on top of the division, but they are actually tied with St. Clair Green Giants. The Green Giants were to take over, the Mariners would have the tiebreaker because they are 3-1 against the Green Giants. Saginaw Sugar Beets have yet to play them the full season, though. As now stepping in will be Stewart. Peck delivers. This one will be high, ball 1. Peck steps back on. I'd like to thank you all for listening here. Donovan Mann, the voice of the Grand Lake Mariners. Mariners on top 2-0 as Stewart, the right fielder, fouls this one off back and out of play. Sugar Beets did beat the Licking County Settlers 3-2, so there will be no tie at the end of the day if the Mariners win this one. They'll be half a game back from the Saginaw Sugar Beets, as this one's delivered right there on the inside corner for a strike. Count now 1-2 here to Stewart. The 1-2 pitch. It'll be just tapped foul back to the backstop. He just got a piece of that one, swinging his garden hose there. Count holds at 1-2. Cincinnati Steam are on top 3-0 over the Lima Locos, and the St. Clair Green Giants are on top 3-0 against the Richmond Jazz. So if those results hold, as this one's fouled off again and back to the screen by Stewart, count holds at 1-2. If those 2 results hold, St. Clair would be on top by a game of the division. They would be leading the division here, as we keep an eye on that. Irish Hill Leprechauns half a game back from the Mariners for that 4th spot. As this one off the bat, and it'll be line drive right into center field, right up the gut. It'll be a leadoff single for Stewart here in the top of the 5th. That will now bring up Scott Combs. The catcher struck out swinging his last time up. Muskegon Clippers, also right there in the race, are on top 6-0 over the Hamilton Joes in Hamilton. So, still 2-0, Mariners on top, but a leadoff single now for Peck to try to pitch around as he steps back on. For Combs, his second time up here today, he struck out swinging. His last time up, he'll look at a first pitch inside right there. Stewart for Michigan State this past season, his freshman season, had only 2 appearances and failed to register a hit. Again, a Big Ten school will not play freshmen as much as, say, a MAC or a Horizon League school. So here comes a 1-0 pitch. It's fouled off a zipper to the backstop. With a loud thud, that one hits safely. Count goes 1-1. Here, man on first, nobody out. Combs, the man in the right-handed batter's box, going up against the righty Peck. The 1-1 pitch, off the bat, a high fly ball into left, but not going deep enough, and Riggs will step underneath that one, make the catch, and then came in kind of a heart jump as he also dropped that one into his bare hand. He made the catch, though, but you still never know. Sometimes they see that drop, and if he were to drop that ball, they might have said, nope, he was safe, but that does get the F7 there. And now we got Noah Weiner struck out swinging his last time up as well. He's 0 for 1, second baseman here today. Weiner for Ohio this past season had 6 appearances. He hit .286 with 1 home run, as he's right behind that one. And that home run, by the way, for him at Ohio's was his only RBI for the season. 0-1 here, throwback to first. He gets back in time. Is Stewart, 1 away, 0-1 the count here to Weiner. Peck steps back on. Gathers, delivers. This will be outside and low, ball 1. 1-1 with 1 out, runner on first. Peck steps back on, delivers the 1-1 pitch. Cut on and miss. Throw back to first, will not be in time. Boy, getting a dangerous lead off there with Stewart. He might have been thinking to go on that pitch, but then decided based on the pitch itself to hold up. And Adams decided to throw back anyway, but Stewart got in there in time. It is now 1-2 the count, though, to Weiner, the man in the right-handed batter's box, going up against the right-handed pitcher in Peck. 1-1 pitch is just tapped foul towards the first base dugout. Weiner will stay alive for another go at the 1-2 count. It was not a 1-2 count, by the way, that Joe Stewart was able to get his line drive single up the gut. He had to fend off a couple pitches as well. I'm sure Peck is hoping that recent history doesn't repeat itself here as he gathers. And delivers the 1-2 pitch. He'll cut on and miss. Chases a high heater there. Another strikeout and just another day at the office for Jordan Peck. That'll be 7 punch-outs in 4 2/3 innings works thus far for Jordan Peck, as he faces a man who got a 1-out single but then was caught trying to steal back in the last inning, Jack Longo. Jack Longo, a man who doesn't get caught stealing often, but he looks at a fastball there on the inside, high corner, 0-1. Jack Longo, again, with 17 stolen bases, doesn't get picked off often, but when he does, you know it. 0-1. Throw back to first. And sliding back in there safely will be Stewart. It's so good to see these throwback to first by the pitchers work a lot better. I'm still having like flashbacks and kind of nightmares every time I see them throw back to first to that game against Lima, as this one's inside ball 1, 1-1 now the count. Second game against Lima in Lima, where they gave up 8 errors. 4 or 5 of them had to be on those throwbacks to first, where the pitcher just overthrew the first baseman, and that was just not a game that the Mariners will remember. They certainly worked on it. Here's a good tap right to the shortstop. Steps on to second for 1, back to first for 2. Doesn't matter, as it is the 3rd out. He did not step on in time, and he did throw down. It'll be 6-3 as they retire the side here. There is 1 base hit, no run score, no errors, and the 1 man was left on base. Mariners on top 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the 5th. You're listening to Mariners Baseball live on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So Piles returns back out to the mound for his 5th inning of work as we are in the bottom of the 5th. It'll be Mackenzie Hicks, Van Acker, and Blake Crossing due up for your Mariners. Mariners on top 2-0. 3 hits apiece for either side, but the Mariners have been the benefactor of 2 runs crossing the plate, and they'll try to hold this lead here. And Piles will just be trying to bide his time until they get the bullpen up and ready as we now at the bottom of the 5th. Most starters don't go that deep into games for the Copperheads. They usually go about 5 or 6, but we'll see how Piles goes as he enters his 5th. Hicks 1 for 1 with a single in his last time up. He strikes this one out into left field. Back-to-back base hits it. It's a leadoff single for Mackenzie Hicks. A great line driver right up there. Got over the shortstop, no play. Dropped in time for the single into left field. So the 4th hit of the game for the Mariners, and the second base hit from Mackenzie Hicks, who's really started to find himself as of late. I'll now bring up Van Acker. He's also 1 for 1 on the day with a single back in the 2nd. That was to load the bases up with nobody out. Here comes the pitch to him. He'll take the first pitch inside, ball 1. It's also a little bit high. 1-0 now the count here to Acker. Trying to get his second base hit of the game. Check back to first. The 1-0 pitch. He'll take there. It's right at the knees. Right there at the corner on the inside. Knees. 1-1 now here to Acker. Check back. The 1-1 pitch. Acker cuts and misses, chases the high heater. Goes down to the count now, 1-2. Acker steps back in. Right-handed batter versus left-handed pitcher. A 1-2 count. Here comes the pitch. Taking all the way. It'll be strike 3 called right there on the inside part of the plate. And that'll be the 4th strikeout of the game for Piles. And with 1 out, there's still the runner on first. Mariners still up 2-0 as Blake Crossing steps in. He is 0 for 1 with a sacrifice RBI fly, or correction, sacrifice RBI ground out to short his last time up, but he is 0 for 1 with a fly out in the 1st to right. And that was a deep one out to right, too. He just didn't get enough on it. As Piles delivers the pitch, catching inside of the high corner. Count goes 0-1. Tell you what, to those right-handed batters, that inside part of the plate is going to work very well all game for either pitcher. We've seen that before here at Montgomery Field, and it seems like that's going to be the case again in this one. Throw back to first. Hicks slides back in safely. Count continues to hold at 0-1 to Crossing. Crossing has not gotten a home run, but I tell you what, on his first at-bat, he had a chance to really get that one. It just didn't get out. This one will miss just a little bit outside. Ball 1, 1-1 now the count with 1 out, runner on first. So Blake Crossing, a man for Dartmouth this past season in his 3rd at-bat here, or 3rd plate appearance of the game. Had 33 appearances for Dartmouth, including 32 starts, hit .319 as he taps this one back and out of play. Count goes to 1-2 to Crossing. That .319 average for Dartmouth this past season was good for 2nd on the team. He also had 11 RBIs and a .435 on-base percentage. Not a bad sophomore season for him at all. As he steps back in, switch hitter batting right here against the lefty. 1-2 count. Set, gather, and deliver. Off the bat, gets past the first baseman, over to the shortstop, flip to second for 1, and it will be a double play as it gets flipped back over to first for 2. Tell you what, the shortstop came over, grabbed that one, scooped that one up. It was actually the second baseman scooped that one up, flipped it over to second to the shortstop for 1, and then back to first for the second. So it was a 4-6-3 double play, and the Mariners do eventually only have 3 batters come to the plate in this one. But 1 hit, no runs, no errors, no man left aboard. We head to the top of the 6th. Mariners on top, 2-0. This is Mariners Baseball Live on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. for Ty Sunken to replace him in that top of the order defensively. He came in defensively actually back in the 5th due to an injury. And now he steps back in. He'll be leading off Nadu. 204 batting average with a 279 on base percentage. A man who attends Penn State from Lansdale, Pennsylvania. He steps in. He wears number 18. This will be his first at bat. Sunken's day ended 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. Nadu also has 5 stolen bases and 10 RBIs. We'll see how they decide though to go at him. He is a left-handed batter. Here comes the first pitch. He shows bunt. He pulls back as it is low. Ball 1. Peck steps on, sets, gathers the 1-0 pitch. It'll be called a strike there as he catches the plate. Count 1-1. He thought about swinging, but then decided not to, but it's called a strike anyway. 1-1 now the count. The 1-1 pitch. Just a little bit off. 2-0. Peck has had a pretty decent outing either way. He's had a couple 1-2-3 innings. He's faced 4 batters in all the other innings as well. And that's low now, 3-1 here to Nato. He did have 1 inning back in the 3rd where it went 5, but other than that, he's had a pretty efficient outing. He probably could go 2 or 3 more innings, depending on how much they want to use him. Again, these are all borrowed players from colleges. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. It'll be popped high down the left field line and out of play. Count full now here to Nadu, the leadoff hitter now for Southern Ohio. Again, these are borrowed players from colleges, so you don't necessarily want to wear them out, give them all 120 pitch outings when they're starters, but still, you want to go ride them as much as they can. They're out here to keep playing, and this will be a line drive hit into left field, and back-to-back leadoff singles for, well, it'll be back-to-back leadoff singles in both the 5th and now the 6th inning, as the first plate appearance for Mason Nadu will be a single. That'll bring up Joey Weisenseal. He's 0 for 2, grounded out to second his last 2 times up. As Weisenseal steps in, right-handed batter versus right-handed pitcher. Weisenseal, of course, wearing number 1, all-star for the roster. This one is low. Ball 1, Adams blocked that one up nicely. And thinking about going was Nadu, but he held up and headed back to first. For Penn State, Weisenseal this past season had 32 appearances with 27 starts. He hit .217 with 10 RBIs and a .301 on-base percentage. Tapped off the bat right to the shortstop, flipped over to second for 1, back to first for 2, and it will be a 6-4-3 double play. 6-4-3 double play, and that will eliminate the 2 batters. Now, that's only 2 outs, though. That eliminates, though, cleans off the bases for Ray Zuber, who struck out his 2 times up here today. He's 0 for 2. First time was looking in the 1st. Second time was swinging in the 4th. He now steps in for his 3rd plate appearance. Left-handed batter, 2 outs, nobody aboard after the 6-4-3 double play. At the eyes there, ball 1. 1-0 now the count with 2 outs. 2-0 Mariners on top here at home. Sweet Montgomery Field. Swung on, it just tipped back to the backstop here by Zuber. Count now goes 1-1. Ray Zuber III, designated hitter, all-star, man at Western Kentucky with 48 appearances, 44 starts, hit .315. As that one's low and outside. 2-1 now here to Zuber. Man who attended Owensburg Catholic High School. It's the 2-1 pitch off the bat and goes wickedly towards the bullpen for the Mariners. Count now evens up at 2-2 with 2 outs. Nobody aboard. 2-0 Mariners lead. As Peck steps on, and the 2-2 pitch off the bat. It's a high fly ball and deep to right and out of here. That one was well out of here off the bat. You knew it right off the bat that that one was going to be gone. And Jaron Lovely even watched it go. And that now will be a 2-1 ball game as the lead is cut in half on the solo shot by Ray Zuber. 2-1 the score. That'll now bring up the cleanup hitter Blake Krim, 3rd baseman. He's 0 for 2. flew out to right his last time up out in the fourth, and now we're going to have a conversation on the mound here between head coach Hacker, Jordan Peck, and Logan Adams. Things get a little bit more interesting now as there's no insurance run now. It's all 2-1 the score. Ray Zuber, a man who can blast them, and he got his third home run of the year and his 16th RBI on that one. He's now third, tied for third for the team with home runs. Peck will be left out there, but they'll get someone up and warming up in the bullpen for sure. Peck will just try to get this last out, though. And it was a good thing that double play was turned. Otherwise, we'd be a tied game or even a lead for the Southern Ohio Copperheads. But thanks to the double play, there was only a solo shot. And it's now 2-1. And now Krim steps on. Krim steps in, takes the first pitch low for a ball. 1-0 now the count. Pitch. It's at the helmet, almost basically at the bill of the helmet there. Count now goes 2-0. Again, Peck's only with one start on the season. He's not normally a starter at all, but they've had to use him as one as this one is smoked towards the third baseman. Chris Myers comes in, throws it across the horn, and it'll be bounced there, and it'll be off the glove of McCall, and that's got to be an error there by McCall, misplaying it there on the bounce. It'll be the second error of the game for the Mariners. That is something that's kind of escaped them is their defense as of late, but that will be on the error. I believe they'll actually rule it an E5. So, an E5 there. Second error of the game for the Mariners allows a base runner to get aboard now with 2 outs. Then we got Blake Holub, 0 for 2 in the day, struck out looking his last time up. He swings and fouls this one back and out of play towards the parking lot in the park. That's right, Montgomery Field is right next to a little park area. Great for picnics, great for kids to go run around and get their exercise, their fresh air time. It's right next to the parking lot. An 0-1 count now as Peck delivers the 0-1 pitch. Off the bat here, it'll be a line drive into center field, and that will be a 2-out single here for Holub. And now all of a sudden, Jordan Peck has kind of just lost his command here, and this will be the end of the day for Jordan Peck as Damon Hacker comes back out of the bullpen. Still 2-1 Mariners on top, but there's a couple of runners aboard here. Peck now is out of the game here. He goes 5 2/3 innings. And we'll talk about the new pitcher when you come out. You're listening to Mariners Baseball Live on the Mariners Media Network. I'll be right back. So here in the top of the 6th, it's 2-1 after a solo shot by Ray Zuber cut the lead in half for the Mariners, and then an error on the third baseman and Myers allowed Krim to reach. Blake Holub will be aboard as well on a single, and now Tommy Seamer steps on. This will be his 8th appearance of the season. He is 1-0. But he has a 7.61 ERA with a 13 innings pitched, 9 extra base hits, which includes a home run. He's punched out 7 and walked 6. He'll be trying to hold on to this lead for the Mariners as he steps on. He'll be the second pitcher here in the top of the 6th. Again, any run that crosses the plate from here in this inning, here on out, will not be earned. So Peck only gives up 1 earned run, and so far it's the only run he's given up. But because of the error that would have been out number 3 from Krim, if either Krim or Holub scored, neither of those runs would be earned against Jordan Peck. So now Seamer will step on. He also has a start on the season, but again, Jordan Beekier was a starter for these Mariners, but his elbow injury knocked him out for the season. They have to find a replacement for that slot in their starting rotation. It's now 2-1. 2 runners aboard at first and second. Seamer delivers a first pitch ball there. Outside. 1-0 here. To the man at the mound at the plate is Joe Stewart. He is 1 for 2 on the day with a reached on an error in the second and singled in the 5th. The 1-0 pitch off the bat. Here it'll be a diving play. No. Akercanthe will go ahead and send the runner from second to home. Here comes the throw. It will be a score. The game is now tied at 2, and the runner from first heads all the way to third. It'll be an RBI single, and Stewart will reach second on the throw. And so now it is 2-2 here at Montgomery Field. We are all tied up here again, as now Joe Stewart gets his second base hit of the game. It comes with an RBI. And by the way, for Stewart, that is his 10th RBI of the season. Runners at second and third as Scott Combs steps in. He's 0 for 2 as Seamer tries to get him out. Goes the pitch. It'll be taken there for a ball. Just a little bit inside. 1-0 now the count. Strike zone starting to grow a little bit tighter now here as the 1-0 pitch, 2 outs. It's delivered. It's a big cut on and miss at the high fastball there. Combs now has a 1-1 count from Seamer. Tommy Seamer, by the way, man who attends Bluffton College, as big cut on and miss, tried to hold up, but it was a garden hose swing by Combs. He's down now the count 1-2. Liberty Township, Ohio native for Seamer. Does have the 1 win on the season. Here comes the pitch. It's cut on and missed, and the inning is over, but not before the Southern Ohio Copperheads can tie it. 2 runs were given up by Peck, only one of which would be earned, though. As we now head to the bottom of the 6th, Mariners try to respond. They're tied now at 2-2 apiece. You're listening to Mariners Baseball right here on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. In the bottom of the 6th now, it'll be Piles returning out to the mound here to get his 6th inning of work. And we are all tied now here at 2. You can wash Jordan Peck out of the decision. There's nobody up and throwing in the bullpen for the Southern Ohio Copperheads, so for now we will be seeing that Piles will be in this for a little bit longer. As he gets in his last couple of warm-ups, Evan Spry, designated hitter, Jake McCall, and Chris Myers due up next. Spry is 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a stolen base back in the 3rd. That was a stolen base on a play in which they attempted a double steal to get them their 3rd run of the game. But the double steal did not work as the throw back home was in time to catch Van Acker, who was coming from 3rd to home. So Evan Spry steps in. He also spent some time on the mound in the most recent game against the Lake Erie Monarchs. Did not allow a run. He walked 2, struck out 2 in his 1 inning of work. Here comes the first pitch to Spry. It's a low fastball there. 1-0. Mariners again trying to get back on top of this one. It's all tied at 2 now. Here comes Piles to deliver. Here's a swing and a drop into left center field for Spry. It's bobbled out and left. Here comes the throw to second as Spry slides in there safely. So it'll be a leadoff double there by Spry after the left fielder in Longo bobbled it a little bit out in left center. Christian was the center fielder and Nadu bobbled it. Spry was able to slide in there safely with a leadoff double. And now he'll be in scoring position with nobody out. The Mariners bullpen dugout beneath me goes wild as Jake McCall, the 3-hitter, 0 for 1 with a walk in the third, steps in. So it'll be a double. The fourth base hit of the game, fifth base hit of the game for the Mariners. Taking there for strike one is McCall. It's 0-1 as that one catches the plate. McCall trying to drive in Spry and get the Mariners right back on top. Here comes the pitch now, outside and low. Count now 1-1. As Piles steps back on. That's Piles spelled like P-Y-L-E-S. It's Piles. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to McCall. He holds up on the high fastball that was right at the bill of his helmet. Count now goes 2-1. There's somebody ran out to the bullpen for the Southern Ohio Copperheads, and we do have somebody up and throwing. So Piles may not be in this one much longer. Check back to second. The 2-1 pitch. It's low. 3-1. McCall trying to get aboard now here for the second time today on a walk. Mariners just trying to get a score here. They have a runner in scoring position with nobody out on the leadoff double. We'll see if they can't drive in Spry. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. It's outside, ball 4, and McCall will get his second base walk. Walked twice here today. Follows the leadoff double. And now there is a runner at first and a runner at second for the third baseman, Chris Myers, the cleanup hitter. Here, and Chris Myers again yesterday was able to drive in 5 runs. 2 came on the home run, 3 came on a double. He also came around to score on both of those as well. Of course, the home run, he comes around to score anyway, but he came around to score on the 3-out double as well, or the 3 RBI double. Here comes the first pitch to him. He takes inside, ball 1. It's a little bit low as well. And now this will bring out Combs to the mound to talk to Piles. Probably buy some time for the man up in the bullpen to get warmed up. It will be a righty. I can't quite see the number from here. It's a little bit too far away. Looked like number 27, Michael Darrell Hicks, to come in. A man they could desperately use. That's right, but he's normally a starter. Looks like 27, though. So he's warming up in the bullpen. He's 3-0 with a 2.16 ERA, but we'll talk about him when he comes out. First, Chris Myers is at bat, batting left. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. He'll take outside, ball 2. Mariners in the last couple of games have done really well with runners in scoring position and bases loaded situation, especially with nobody out. In this game, they've already scored 2 in that situation. They scored 3 and then 4 in that situation yesterday. This one's outside again, ball 3. Piles cannot find that outside of the zone. He keeps trying to find the outside of the plate to these left-handed batters. He just can't find it. And now 3-0. We'll see what Myers gets here to swing at. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. And it'll be just tapped by Myers. Count will go 3-1. You almost got to wonder with how much Darrell Hicks has warmed up out there in that bullpen if this is Piles' last batter. Especially if he walks it, you would have to say that would be his last batter. But if he allows a base hit, anything, this more than likely will be his last batter faced. So 3-1 pitch here to Myers. Left-handed batter steps in. Toledo man, we'll see if he can't rocket this one out. The 3-1 pitch. Taken for ball 4. And they are loaded with nobody out. It's a leadoff double for Spry. A walk by McCall, and now a walk by Myers. Nobody out. The bases are loaded. All aboard for the man in Joshua Riggs. And here comes the coach, and this might be the end of the day for Piles. It does, I do believe it will, as the entire infield comes in, and it looks like we'll be talking about Michael Darrell Hicks on the other side of this break. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball live on the Mariners Media Network. I'll be right back to talk about the new pitcher. Bases are loaded, tied at 2. So it'll be Michael Daryl Hicks now stepping onto the mound. He's actually one of their starters. He has 5 starts on the season. His only appearances, this will be appearance number 6. The only one that is not a start for him. Daryl Hicks, he's considered their ace. He's 3-0 with a 2.16 ERA, a 25 innings pitched thus far, 35 punch-outs to 9. He is all-star game bound. The man from Bowling Green, Kentucky, and Western Kentucky is his college. He had 20 appearances, went 21 and 2/3 innings pitched, 1-0 with a 374. And he played just 3 games ago. He comes into a bases loaded, nobody out situation with Joshua Riggs stepping on. He is 0 for 2, a couple of ground outs for Riggs on the day. Hicks, here comes the pitch to Hicks. It's inside, zipping right at Hicks. It might have grazed his uniform ever so slightly, or that might have just been the breeze off the fastball there. But that one was really inside, and Hicks did a great job to get out of the way of that one. But I got him right on the upper part of his arm. 1-0 pitch to Hicks. He cuts and misses, chases a high fastball, now 1-1. Hicks, a man who loves his home runs and loves to drive in runs. Correction, Riggs, the man who likes to do that. 17 RBIs, 3 home runs. He's home run here would almost certainly blow this one open for the Mariners with a grand slam as he swings and taps this one out. Chasing the high heater there, though, is not going to get it done. It's now 1-2. It's back-to-back high fastballs he's chased. This one he did tip back off the catcher's helmet and then to the backstop. Riggs will step back in. 1-2 the count. Runners aboard all the bags. We are full here. Here comes Daryl Hicks to deliver the 1-2 pitch. Cut on and miss. Riggs will go down swinging. And that has been Riggs' kryptonite here, is he's a little bit too aggressive and he cannot get to some of these pitches. He swings and misses on that one. It wasn't necessarily a bad pitch to swing at. He was just behind it. And now he will go down. 1 out. Space is still loaded. 2-2 the score here as Jaron Lovely steps in. He's 0 for 2. Struck out swinging his last time up. He'll be left batting left here against the righty. Lovely has 12 RBIs in this game. And now Combs will go out to the mound to have a conversation with Daryl Hicks. Again, that is Daryl-Hicks, his last name. First name is Michael. He is all-star game bound. Southern Warren High School is where he went before attending Bowling Green, or attending Western Kentucky. As Daryl Hicks steps back on. 1 out. Just a deep contact here for Lovely would drive in a go-ahead run, but cut on and miss there by Lovely. Was definitely thinking about grand slam there. And he aggressively squeezes his bat and looks away, frustrated that he swung at that one. Daryl Hicks can throw some real heaters out there. Again, good for him that he's coming out here after just 3 days ago he pitched. He started on that one as well, so you know he didn't just go like 3 innings. And we'll see, he's trying to get them out of this bases loaded situation, try to hold this one tied at 2 apiece. Daryl Hicks steps on. He'll step off as he can't seem to find his sign. As he steps back on, the 0-1 pitch is gathered in the glove. The righty delivers. 0-1 pitch, it's chased there, something low. And Jaron Lovely, again, if you have to think about the Mariners, something that's really hurt them other than defensive lapses with errors, it's also been their little bit too aggression in these bases-loaded situations. Yeah, I talked about how well they've done in the past stretch, but recently also there's been a couple batters who just can't hold up, and Jaron Lovely is one of those guys. He just seems he really wants those RBIs, and he swung at 2 pitches where he really had no need swinging at, including one that kind of bounced out in front of the plate. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. It'll be outside. Ball 1. Smart take there by Lovely. Lovely does draw his walks, though, as well. He did enter this game with that 400 on-base percentage. He can't draw his walks, but he's also gotten himself in a lot of 0-2 counts. He's a good 0-2 count hitter, too. As the step on, the 1-2 gather. Delivered to Lovely. Strike 3 called, catching just the outside part of the corner. So Daryl Hicks comes on and strikes out the first 2 batters he faces. And now the Mariners looking like they're about to leave him loaded after they got him full with nobody out. That'll bring up Logan Adams. He walked in the 3rd and grounded out in the 4th to short. He steps in now trying to get his possibly 8th and maybe even 9th RBI of the year if he can't deliver with a base hit here. Here comes the first pitch to him. He'll take high, ball 1. Or just draw a walk. Mariners, again, the Copperheads brought in Hicks with a bases loaded, nobody out situation, but you bring in your best hitter for that, the best batter for that situation, and good things might just happen. You're a good pitcher. Your best pitcher, things just might happen for you. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Adams. He'll cut and miss. He chases the low one there. Count now goes 1-1. Hicks has done a great job of throwing them by the Mariners batters here today, certainly earning his name as an all-star, as a starter too. He's actually high up there in strikeouts. I believe he is the league leader in strikeouts. I'll go back and confirm that. I know he was there for a while. This one to Adams is low. 2-1. The Mariners, of course, will be also looking for a wild pitch, a walk, anything to bring that go-ahead run across the plate and not leave them loaded here. 2-1 count here to the catcher, Adams. The gather. Hicks. Daryl Hicks will gather. Holds the 2-1 pitch. Inside, but it's called a strike. Looked a little bit high and inside, but that one's going to be called a strike. And like I said, the strike zone with this guy has been a little bit inconsistent at times, and that one right there was called a ball. Now it's called a strike. We'll see where it's called next. Count evens up now at 2-2 to Adams. 2-2 with 2 outs. Bases loaded. And we'll see if the Mariners are about to leave them loaded. Daryl Hicks delivers off the bat and to the fourth base dugout. That actually was just above my eye view as that one just went over the press box. There's a fence that protects the windows here, and one of the local media writers here actually ducked out of the way as if that one were coming to him. I know he's just messing around, but still, that's just a natural reaction when the ball heads right towards you. Your natural reaction is to not get hit in the head. So it's a 2-2 count here to Adams with 2 outs. Here comes Daryl Hicks to deliver the 2-2 pitch. It's bouncing out in front of the plate, and now the count is full here to Adams. A walk here would bring in the go-ahead run. They give Adams his 10th RBI of the season. Correction would give him his 8th RBI of the season. Daryl Hicks looks in. The 3-2 pitch. We'll see what Adams gets here. And the payoff pitch. Off the bat. And into right field. That'll bring at least 1. And then we'll go ahead and send him from second into home. It'll be a 2 RBI single as the throw down to second is getting Adams out. But that will bring 2 runs across the plate, as Adams, for the second time in this homestand, is caught trying to stretch a single into a double. It'll be a 2 RBI single by Adams. And now the Mariners on top 4-2. Scoring on the play was Evan Spry and Jake McCall. 4-2 as we now head to the top of the 7th. The Mariners back on top by 2. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball live on the Mariners Media Network. I'll be right back. So Tommy Seaver comes back out to the mound. The team back on top for the Mariners. It's 4-2. Your Grand Lake Mariners back on top as Seaver steps in. The Mariners have done it on 6 hits to get their 4 runs. Most recent came on a 2 RBI double, or 2 RBI single by Logan Adams. He tried to stretch that single into a double and was caught. And so now it'll be Noah Weiner, Jack Longo, and Mason Nadu trying to get things going here to try to bring it back to a tie or take a lead. Well, right now, 4-2 is that's ball 1 here to Weiner. 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts in this one. Here comes the next pitch. That'll be just missing the plate, I guess. 2-0. Again, I'm trying to figure out the strike zone here. It's just, for both sides, it's been rather inconsistent. This one will be taken here for a strike. And now it's 2-1. That one caught the inside part of the plate there. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. The count evens up now at 2-2. Seamer just threw that one by Weiner. Seamer just trying to get ahead of this one, keep this lead where it is, get us into the later ones of this one here, see who they bring on. This one is low and outside for full up the count now at 3-2. Thinking about swinging was Weiner, but he does not. Again, Weiner 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Seamer delivers the 0-2 pitch. It'll be low, and the payoff pitch brings in ball 4 and a leadoff base runner here for the Southern Ohio Copperheads. That is the third straight inning where the leadoff runner has gotten aboard for the Southern Ohio Copperheads. That came on a single in the 5th, a single in the 6th, and now a leadoff walk to Weiner. Then bring up Jack Longo. Singled on an infield single back in the 3rd, but then was caught trying to steal as this one's up and high by his face. As he gets out of the way of that one, the count now 1-0. He also grounded out in the 5th to short, so he's 1 for 2. Here comes the next pitch to him. It's right at high and inside again, and now it goes 2-0. As Seamer steps back on, he's delivered 2 high and inside ones. That one was not as high. Seamer delivers the 2-0 pitch. This one will be high and inside again, and I do believe it hit him. It grazed him just a bit, but enough. And now back-to-back base runners are aboard. Seamer walks the leadoff man and then hits Longo with a pitch. And now that will bring in a conference on the mound as Seamer's not having his good stuff here in this one. And that is the end of the day for Seamer. He fails to record an out here in the 7th. He only goes a third of an inning. He went a third of an inning. That was the final out back in the 6th. And he's responsible for the 2 aboard. That'll bring up Jonah Jenkins. We'll talk about him when we come back. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball live here on YouTube. I'll be right back. Back to the top of the order here in the top of the 7th after the 2 base runners get aboard, one via the single, one via the hit by pitch. That will be the end of the day for Tommy Seamer. They pull Joshua Riggs from left field out into the mound now, and they put Steven Fitzsimmons out in left now. And that, by the way, means the Mariners sacrifice their DH. And so Fitzsimmons will now be batting in the 2 hole where Evan Spry was. Nadu will step back in here for his second at-bat. He's 1 for 1 with a single. He came in defensively for Ty Sunken in the 5th. At 4 starts, this will be his 5th appearance, his first start out of the bullpen, first appearance out of the bullpen, quote-unquote, since he came from left. 6.42 ERA with a 21 innings pitched. He's given up 10 extra base hits, which includes 6 home runs. He has struck out 21 batters and only walked 1. But his primary flaw has been that long ball. Now with 2 runners aboard, and this one is smoked right here into right field. It will drop just barely for a base hit. Or I do believe it did actually go foul. That one, though, was very close to being fair. Goes now 0-1 here to Nadeau. That could have been at least 1 run scored, a potential double, and even 2 runs scored on that one to give it a tie game at 4-4. Riggs, though, survives with the foul ball. Count now goes 0-1. I do believe they have to get a new piece of lumber for Nadeau as he heads back to the dugout. Nadeau is not a very big man. He is short. He is slim. And he steps back in, batting left here against Riggs, the righty. Riggs, by the way, the man who attends Alma College from Irons, Michigan, had 12 starts for Alma College with 681 innings pitched and a 382 ERA. He steps on. He's got an 0-1 count here to Nadeau. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. This one is tapped foul down the first base line. Quickly, 0-2 is Nadeau down in the count. Mariners trying to hold on to that 4-2 lead and put Southern Ohio down 0-5 on their losing streak right now. Again, they are on a 4-game losing streak. They could go down 5 now. As here comes the 0-2 pitch, just a little bit outside. Could have been called a strike by this umpire standards, but it'll be a hitter's call there with the 0-2 count. Count now goes 1-2. Riggs steps on, the 6'5" pitcher. Again, getting his first appearance out of the bullpen, quote-unquote, as he was pulled actually from left. Here comes the next pitch to Nadeau. Swings of the high fastball, and down goes swinging will be Nadeau. That'll be the first strikeout for Riggs and the 8th strikeout for Mariners pitching here today. Correction, 9th strikeout for Mariners pitching here today. And that'll bring up Weisenseal now. He is 0 for 3. He's grounded out all couple times. Both his first 2 times in the first and third were to second. And then he grounded into a double play in the 6th to eliminate a leadoff base runner as Riggs delivers the first pitch high and inside. 1-0. Mariners on top 4-2. They got the lead back in the most recent inning. 2 RBI single that was tried to stretch into a double, but Adams was caught on it as Riggs delivers the 1-0 pitch. High and inside again. I don't know if the Mariners are trying to take advantage of the inside part to these right-handers, but Seamer nor Riggs now can seem to find that inside part of the zone like Peck did. And now it's a 2-0 count here to Weisenseal. Again, runner on second and first. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. It's swung on, hit high, deep into right center, going and back to the fence. That'll score at least one. Right on the heels of Logan is Longo, so 2-run score. Longo was right on the tail of Noah Weiner, and we are now tied with a 2 RBI double by Joey Weiner. So for the second time here today, the Mariners have coughed up a 2-run lead, and they are now tied again at 4-4. There's a 2 RBI double there by Weisenseal. And both those runs, by the way, go against the record of Tommy Seamer. He ends up giving up 2 runs, both of which were earned. And the book is closed on him. He struck out 1 and walked 1. As here comes the first pitch in outside and high to Ray Zuber, the All-Star. You have to understand, though, why the Southern Ohio Copperheads team is littered with All-Stars. They've got players that don't give up. They keep fighting, and now they've tied it at 4 apiece. 4-4. Here comes the pitch. This one is curveball there on the outside. That is now a 1-1 count. With 1 out, runner on second. Tied at 4. 1-1 pitch is a high fly ball out to center. Back goes Jaron Lovely, watching it though, sail over his head, and the Southern Ohio Copperheads will take a 6-4 lead. It's a 2-home run, and Ray Zuber gets his back-to-back home runs in just as many plate appearances, and the Southern Ohio Copperheads take the lead here at Montgomery Field. Second home run of the day. This one comes with 2 runs, and the Copperheads take a lead. I mentioned it when he came onto the mound. Joshua Riggs has a problem with giving up the long ball. He gives up 2 there on this one. And now 6-4, Southern Ohio Copperheads lead in the top of the 7th. That was an absolute rocket. And so now 4 runs in this one give the Copperheads a lead as now Blaine Krim, he's 0 for 3, grounds this one up the gut. And now the Mariners have just kind of collapsed here in this 7th inning. And that'll be a 1-out single there for Krim. 3 straight base hits for the Southern Ohio Copperheads. It is now 6-4, and that was just a single there by Krim. He gets aboard with 1 out. I'll bring up Blake Haleb. Blake Haleb, he's 1 for 3. Had a single back in the 6th. And we'll see if Riggs can't try to get him out. 6-4 your score. Southern Ohio Copperheads score 4 in the 7th inning to take the lead. Haleb takes a high ball there. 1-0. And this one outside, ball 2. 2-0 now the count here to Haleb. As here comes the 2-0 pitch. This is popped high back towards the first base into foul territory, and it'll get out of play as giving chase was Chris McCall, but he was unable to make the catch as it got out of play. 2-1 now the count here to Haleb. By the way, that Zuber 2-run homer, that was back-to-back innings that he had gotten a homer. He got the one off a Peck. It was a solo shot. Then this one came for 2. As now the throwback over to first does not get in time. Count holds at 2-1 to Haleb. Runner on first is Krim. Here comes the pitch. It's tapped over to third, and it will roll foul. Count evens up now at 2-2. As that one's gathered up, though, by Chris Myers just in case. Again, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Riggs steps back on, gets his sign. Stepping back in is Haleb. He delivers the pitch. This one will be tapped back to third base, gathered past the glove, and that will be a single. They will go ahead and send the man from first, and Krim will go to third. Runners at the corners there with a single by Haleb. His back-to-back innings in which he's had a single. He's now 2 for 4 on the day, and the Mariners still cannot get out of this inning. If this result does hold up, the Mariners will drop to 5th in the division as the Leprechauns continue to lead in their game. We'll get you the score there for that one. 6-4 the score. Mariners trailing here at home. 4 runs already in this inning. Runners at the corners, only 1 out. Here comes the delivery. Bouncing out in front of the plate, blocked up there by Adams. Leprechauns do lead 7-5 in Galley into the bottom of the 5th. Also, the Green Giants lead 6-1. Clippers lead 8-1. And the Lima Locos have tied it up at 3. This one is a high pop back and out of play. Count goes 1-1 with 1 out. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Riggs delivers. This one is a line drive into center. That will score 1, and they will hold up the man, Blake Haleb, at second. And it's an RBI single there for Stewart, and the inning continues. So 7-4, 5 straight hits for the Copperheads now. 3 of which have been singles, 1 of which has been a home run, 1 was a double, and the Mariners' misery continues. 7-4 the score now. Copperheads have also gotten 12 hits. Here comes the delivery from Riggs. Low, high and inside. Ball 1. Tell you what, it was all going pretty well for the Mariners up until this inning, and then they just kind of fell apart. They did give 2 up in the 6th, and then this one, it's just been blown wide open. They entered with a 4-2 lead going into the top of the 7th, but it kind of fell apart from there. As cut on and missed there by Combs, the 9th man to bat in the inning. He steps in. He has a 1-1 count with 1 out, runner at second and first. Here comes the pitch. Cut and missed. I tell you what, with the big lead off that Stewart is getting over there on first, I'm not surprised they haven't tried a pickoff move, especially since, you know, he's not the lead runner. But if you kind of just sneak McCall in there, you could probably try to pick him off. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. It's a little bit low and outside. Kind of almost gets away from Adams, but he blocks it up nicely. Count evens up at 2-2. That's just an observer I have here from the press box. I know he's not the leadoff runner, so you're not going to have a man covering, but you could kind of try to sneak in McCall over there and just try to pick him off. He's getting a pretty decent lead off, and it's not a wide stretched one either. Here comes one bouncing out in front of the plate, blocked up there by Adams. Count full now at 3-2 to Combs. Tell you what, it's fun calling big innings like this when you're on the winning side of them, like the 10-run inning we had yesterday for the Mariners. And then you're on the losing side. It's kind of not a good time. You just kind of wait your time up here in the press box. I'm sure it's not fun being on the side of this playing either. High swung. It was a check swing. They will appeal. They say he went around. It will be strike 3. Scott Combs strikes out for the 3rd time here today. And yes, he did. It was close, but yes, he did. There's now 2 out. That'll bring up Noah Weiner. He got it all. So this one manageable, as this one is a little bit low. 1-0. As Riggs steps on, delivers. High and inside. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs, runners on first and second. As Riggs came in from left field to get on the mound after the 2 leadoff men got aboard. This one is high and inside, but catches the corner there. Strike 1, 2-1 now the count. Here comes the pitch. Swung on it, tipped back to the backstop. Count now goes 2-2 on the 2-1 pitch. Noah Weiner steps in. On second is Caleb Holub. On first is Joe Stewart with that RBI single that drove in Blaine Krim from second. 7-4 your score. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's swung on and missed, and the Mariners can finally get out of this inning after facing 10 batters. Back-to-back strikeouts for Riggs. Retires the side, including he gets actually all 3 strikeouts, but in between strikeout 1 and 2 is a huge mess. That includes a 2 RBI double, a 2-run homer, a single, another single, an RBI single, and then comes 2 strikeouts. 7-4, the Southern Ohio Copperheads in the lead. They score 5 in this inning on just a total of 5 hits. No errors, 2 men left on base. We now head to the bottom of the 7th. Mariners trying to claw back in this one. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball Live on the Mariners Media Network. I'll be right back. Michael Darrell Hicks comes in to get his 2nd inning of work. He got all the outs in the 6th inning, and he actually got himself out of a bases-loaded jam, only giving up 2 runs, both of which, by the way, went against the record of Wesley Piles. He gave up a total of 4 runs, all of which were earned. Also, defensive change, Weisenseal has been removed. This is a ball 1 here to Mackenzie Hicks, the Mariners batter. Third right fielder, he's 2 for 2 with a couple of singles in this game. Here comes the next pitch to him. It's high and inside. He ducks out of the way, 2-2. Weisenseal has been replaced by Cesario out at short. High and inside, and now 3-0 quickly here to Hicks. Mariners trying to mount their own comeback. Here now as they're down 7-4. Hicks will look at take all the way there. It's strike called. Right there on the outside corner at the knee, so the right-handed batter, Hicks. And this one is fouled off, and now the count goes forward, 3-2. Correction, Weisenseal is still in the game. Their second baseman has been replaced. Thank you for catching that here in the press box. This is a high fly ball smoked out to right by Hicks. It's going back, and it's out of here. And the Mariners start the comeback trail with a solo shot by Mackenzie Hicks, his second home run of the year. Man, a lot of home runs in this one. It is the shallowest ballpark in the Grand Lakes Summer League. And that one will bring them back within 5 on the solo shot from Mackenzie Hicks. He's now 3 for 3 on the day. That'll bring up Van Acker. He is now 1 for 2 on the year. Actually, by the way, so Weiner has been removed as that's a ball 1 there by Acker. Cesario is at second. And Weisenseal is still at short. This is called a strike here in the inside corner to Acker. 1-1. Here comes the delivery, the 1-1 pitch. It'll be taken in high and inside. 2-1. 2-1 the count. The delivery to Acker. He takes high fastball. 3-1. Acker has done a very good job lately of just seeing the ball. He struggled at the beginning. Again, he felt kind of in a slump to start the season, but really lately he's been seeing the ball well. He's also been getting the bat to the ball better, which is why his numbers have climbed up. Here comes a high pop, though, from him towards the third base dugout. It'll just get out of play right at the edge of the behind home plate stands for the fans here. So the count now full at 3-2 to Acker. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Acker pops this one back and out of play again. He'll stay alive for another one. Mariners have gotten 7 hits. Their opponents have gotten 12. 7-5 the score. Mariners have also committed 2 errors, which have kind of hurt them a little bit. Not as much as they do in other games, but still a little bit of concern that they're consistently committing 2 errors a game now. Here comes the 3-2 payoff pitch. Try to hold up. They will appeal. Did he go? Yes, he did. And it'll be a strikeout of Acker. Guess if you're going to get the strikeout in the last inning, you're going to give it to them as well. Acker struck out twice here today. And that's the 3rd strikeout of the day for Daryl Hicks. That'll now go back to the top of the order. Blake Crossing. Sacrifice RBI fly. Or correction, sacrifice RBI ground out back in the 3rd. Other than that, he's 0 for 2. Grounded into a double play his last time up in the 5th, which ended the inning. But he'll now switch around to the left as he bats the first time against Daryl Hicks, the righty. Switch hitter receives a strike 1 there. Low and at the knees of the outside corner. For Crossing, I do notice he's kind of hit a lot better from the left side than the right. The sample size is rather small for the right side, but still, just an eye test, you would say he's probably a little bit better batting left than right. He takes a ball there, low, 1-1 with 1 out. And again, that's probably just because he's batted left more. There's a lot more righties than lefties in this league, as this one's low, and it's now 2-1. And we'll see if that continues to develop for the Dartmouth switch hitter. It's a 2-1 count, 1 out, 7-5. Mariners trailing by 2 here, trying to come back after coughing up the lead in the most recent inning. Taking and bouncing there. Count now 3-1. Daryl Hicks struggling in this one. Certainly not what you would expect from a man with 38 punch-outs coming into this game. Correction. 35 punch-outs coming into this game as he steps off to reset. 3-1. He does have 2 punch-outs in this one, so he has 37 punch-outs on the season, but still, not what you expect from him as far as his command is concerned. This is a big swing and miss here. The count now runs full to Crossing. Should have taken that one low for ball 4, but with a 3-2 count, you don't mind him swinging a little bit on that one. You still wish he would take it for ball 4. Here comes the payoff pitch, and just tapped foul by Crossing. Count 3-2. It's 3-2, 1 out. Crossing steps in, batting left, trying to keep the inning going for the Mariners with 1 out. Hicks waves off the first pitch, accepts the second. 3-2 pitch. Crossing, this one is in and at his shoes. I don't know if it hit him, but he did get out of the way. It would have been ball 4 anyway. As he jumps out of the way of that one in his left-handed batter's box, it'll be a 1-out walk for Crossing. to bring up Steven Fitzsimmons. He replaced Evan Spry in the DH spot after he went out to left field when Riggs was pulled from left field to the mound. Spry's day does end 2 for 3, a much better day for him at the plate. He had an RBI single and also a double. So now we'll see what Steven Fitzsimmons can do. Wearing number 11, he's 189. He looks at ball one there. He hits 189 with a 360 on-base percentage. Does have 5 RBIs and 5 stolen bases. Man from Valparaiso, Golden Valley, Minnesota native. It's an 0-0 pitch here too, and we'll also see if they're aggressive with crossing. Off the bat, right to the shortstop though, over to second for 1, back to first for 2. It's a 6-4-3 double play for Fitzsimmons to ground into routinely. Mariners do get one back on the solo shot leadoff homer by Mackenzie Hicks, but the double play negates any other challenges as Fitzsimmons grounds right to the shortstop, and will now head to the top of the 8th, still 7-5. Mariners trailing here this one. You're listening to Mariners Baseball right here on the Mariners Media Network. Andrew Loudermilk now coming out to the mound for his appearance here in this one. He's got Jack Longo, Mason Nadeau, and, well, probably would have been, it is Josie Weisensteel, though, coming out as well. Loudermilk coming out here trying to hold on to this 7-5 deficit, keep it at that, so they have a chance here. Mariners will have 2 more chances to try to tie or take the lead, only down by 2. It still could be their ball game here, but as we reach the late innings of this one, they're running out of time. So, Pearland, Texas native comes in now. A little bit more about Loudermilk, Texas Permian Basin attendee. 8th appearance of the season. 3 ERA on 9 innings pitched. 2 extra base hits, struck out 4, walked 1. In fact, the last time we actually saw Loudermilk was yesterday. He only went 1 inning and struck out and walked and eliminated every batter he faced. He's coming out for the 2nd day in a row. The first time he's done that this season. He delivers a high fastball there inside, ball 1. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. This one will be low now and out a little bit outside. 2-0. Again, Loudermilk, the 4th pitcher of the day for the Mariners. Trying to come back here down 7-5. This one a little bit high and inside. Quickly 3-0 Loudermilk to Jack Longo. Hit by a pitch his last time up. And that was the end of the day for Tommy Seamer, was that hit by pitch, as Loudermilk delivers a 3-0 pitch. We called right there on the outside corner at the knees. Taking all the way was Longo. 3-1 now the count. Longo does have a base hit. He is 1 for 2, though, as singled and was caught stealing in the 3rd. Strike 2 called. Longo doesn't agree with it, but it was right there on the outside corner at the knees. He was ready to go to first. He actually had unstrapped one of his gloves already and had to restrap it up. Full count, though, now here as Loudermilk delivers. Bouncing out in front of the plate. This will be ball 4, and Longo gets aboard a leadoff base runner again. By the way, if you're wondering, that is the 4th straight inning the Mariners have allowed their leadoff base runner. A couple were on a single, and now the past 2 innings have been walks. And now we go back to Mason Nadeau. He is 1 for 2 on the day. Came in defensively for Ty Sunken, took over his spot, had a single in his first at-bat, struck out his last time up to Joshua Riggs. And now a runner at first, a leadoff walk for Loudermilk to pitch around. That was his 2nd walk of the season, by the way. Loudermilk delivers, the runner goes. Here comes the throw down to second. It will be in there safely. Again, Longo gets his 18th stolen base of the season. The throw was nowhere near in time. So a stolen base from Longo. He certainly does look like your typical speedster on the bags there too. Thin, a little bit long-legged for his height. But he's just got a lot of speed and he's able to get in there safely. And we'll see if he tries for third here as he's already getting a dangerous leadoff walk. Loudermilk checks back and delivers. Bunt shown. This one will go down the third base line. Picked up here. And there will be no play for Adams. So an infield single there for Nadeau. And now there's runners at the corners. And the Mariners are picking up right where they left off defensively in the 7th. Not able to really turn anything. But that's just great base running there for Nadeau. And really, it's really more for the Copperheads picking up right where they left off. As 7-5, runners at the corners, nobody out, and all it will take is a deep contact in play for Weisenseal to try to score his third RBI. Had an RBI double back in the 7th. And this is a high fly ball into shallow left. Running in is Fitzsimmons, tagging and heading home. Actually, no, Longo will hold up. You're surprised with his speed that he may not have tried it, but that'll be the first out, and they will hold the runners where they are. Perhaps was just a little bit too shallow, but Longo is fast. You would have loved to see him try it. They do have a 7-5 lead. Double play would have been nice for the Mariners, but they just get the one out on the F7. That'll bring up Ray Zuber. Had a 2-run homer in the 7th. He also had a solo homer in the 6th. He's 2 for 4 with those 2 homers and a couple of strikeouts. As the Southern Ohio Copperheads lead 7-5 over your Grand Lake Mariners. Here comes the first pitch. Swung on and tipped back to the play. Off and running on that one was Nadeau, but of course, it was fouled off, so he has to go back to first. Again, a nice double play ball would be nice serve up here right to the shortstop crossing. We'll see how they go, though, with this one. As here comes the 0-1 pitch. This one bouncing out in front of the plate, blocked up there nicely by Adams. Runner heads to second, throw down to first. Throw down to second is not in time as it bounced off the plate, and there was no double steal play there attempted. So they will go ahead and give Nadeau the stolen base. Mariners allow a second stolen base in this inning. Count now 2-1 here to Zuber. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. It's low. Ball 3, and it's a little bit outside. 3-1 now the count here to Ray Zuber. 7-5 your score here. Runner on second, runner on third. Longo on third. Nadeau on second. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. It's off the bat into right field. That'll score at least one as they send Nadeau to third. He will round head home. And so there will be 2 more runs scored as that one got away from the right fielder, Mackenzie Hicks, down the line. And it's a 2 RBI double for Zuber. Zuber gets his 4th and 5th run batted in on the 2 RBI double there. And now it is 9-5, Mariners back down by 4. Only one out as well in this 8th inning as we now head to Blaine Krim. He's 1 for 4 on the day with a single in the 7th, and he reached on an error in the 6th. He steps in batting right here against Loudermilk. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed there by Krim. He steps back in, batting right. 0-1 the count. 1 away, runner on second in Zuber. Here comes the pitch. Off high contact, off the bat into shallow center. Coming in is Jaron Lovely to make the catch, and that will retire the second batter. There's now 2 away. That'll now bring up Blake Holub. He's 2 for 4 on the day with the back-to-back doubles in the 6th and 7th inning. He struck out looking in the 4th and grounded out to third in the 2nd. Tell you what, the way this one went in the first half of this game really looked like it was going to be a quick game. The Mariners had a 2-0 lead, and then these last 2 innings have just been really long, especially for the Mariners on the defensive part, where they just can't seem to get all the outs, and they've let up a total of 7 runs in the last 2 innings. This one's high pop down the right field line. Count now goes 0-1. as Hollab steps back in. Here comes the pitch to him. He fouls this one off as well. Back. And count goes 0-2. If the result holds, Joshua Riggs would be in line for the loss. And I believe Daryl Hicks would be in line for the win. Loudermilk steps on. The 0-2 pitch. Bouncing out in front of the plate, blocked up there by Adams, and it will hold Ray Zuber. Count goes 1-2 to Hollab. Loudermilk steps back on. He'll get in, checks to second, and the 1-2 pitch is a high fly ball out into right center. Coming over is Lovely to make the catch and retire the side. That retires the inning, and 2 more runs added on to the lead. It's now 9-5. Mariners trailing by 4 here as they enter the bottom of the 8th. You're listening to Mariners Baseball live on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Daryl Hicks back on the mound. He is in line for the win as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Mariners trailing 9-5 here at home. Due up is Jake McCall, Chris Myers, and Joshua Riggs. If the results hold, actually Joshua Riggs has been pulled from the game, so I do believe I heard perhaps it might be R.J. Williams going out there now for that spot, as the offense has just come alive for the Copperheads. 14 hits, 9 runs, 9-5 the score. As McCall steps in, batting left against the righty, Daryl Hicks. Mariners need to give their fans, those who stuck around, something to cheer about here, as they did trail by 4 here in the late goings of this one. Again, they held a 2-0 lead for the good portion of this game. Then they gave it up, tied it at 2. They were able to get back on top 4-2, and then gave up a monster 5-run innings in the 7th, as that's ball 1 here to McCall. And then 2 more runs given up in the 8th after they got a home run from Hicks back in the 7th. That's why we're at 9-5 right now. 2-0 now here to McCall. 2-0 pitch. That one catching the plate there on the outside. Count goes 2-1 on the corner. The 2-1 pitch. McCall takes the low one that bounces ever so slightly. 3-1. Tell you what, for the Mariners, they've gotten their 7 hits and 5 runs. A lot of times that could do it for you, but not when you give up 9 and also commit 2 errors. The errors haven't been what necessarily hurt them, as that's a just bit outside, and a leadoff walk there for McCall. That will now bring in Chris Myers, number 40. He is 0 for 2 with a walk as well in this game. He walked it his last time up. That was a bases-loaded situation when he walked with nobody out. Then Daryl Hicks came in and got the next 2 out, and then got Logan Adams out on a 2 RBI. 9-5. He tried to stretch a single into a double, though. What looked like he should never have even attempted that. But he tried it, and he got out. This one will be a pitch right there at the knees. Count goes 0-1. Hicks steps in. 0-1 pitch. Count now goes 1-1. step on is Hicks. He'll look in for his sign. He actually stepped off before stepping back on. Runner on first is Jake McCall. Had the leadoff walk, and now this will be a discussion here between Combs and Daryl Hicks. Couldn't agree on anything. Sure looked like Hicks had kind of stepped forward before he stepped off, but no need to pinch anything here. He didn't really set anyway. 1-1. Daryl Hicks steps back on, gets the sign, checks to first, and delivers the 1-1 pitch to Myers. It's outside. Now it's 2-1. Here to Myers. Here, the sun is completely set now. As the 2-1 pitch to Myers will be called strike two right there on the plate on the high part of the zone. 2-2 now. Here to Myers, the cleanup hitter for the day. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Myers gets back on. And here comes the 2-2 pitch to Myers. He cuts this one, and it will be a line drive hit into left. That'll move McCall over to second. And so a single there for Myers, his first base hit of the game. And we got back-to-back base runners with no to start this inning. That'll bring up now, it will be R.J. Williams. He'll come in to replace what was Josh Riggs. Got to assume he might go out into the outfield then, and we'll bring, or perhaps we'll just see a pitcher come in and replace him. R.J. Williams steps in, getting his first plate appearance of the day. Riggs, by the way, was 0 for 3 on the day with a strikeout. And now it's Williams' spot in the 5-hole. He bats left here against the righty. R.J. Williams, man who attends Bowling Green State University from Pickerington, Ohio, hits .133 with a .297 on-base percentage for the Falcons this past spring. Had 39 games with 22 starts. Hit .288 with 3 RBIs and a .391 on-base percentage. Man can draw his walks, and we'll see if he can do that here in this one as he takes the first pitch right there on the inside corner. 0-1. It is 9-5. Copperheads on top of the Mariners are in business here to start this 8th inning as they got their first two aboard. Leadoff walk to McCall and a single from Myers. As here comes the 0-1 pitch. Cut on and missed there by R.J. Williams. He goes down now in the count 0-2. For Daryl Hicks, he has struck out 3 and walked 2. He's also given up a couple of runs, but those aren't against him. He went against the starter on Logan Abbs' RBI single back in the 6th. Check back here to second. The 0-2 pitch. R.J. Williams lines this one into center. It will drop for a base hit. They will go ahead and send McCall home. Here comes the throw. They won't even send it as it goes to third. And now the Mariners draw back in to 3. It is now 9-6 on the RBI single there by R.J. Williams. So R.J. Williams comes in for the pinch hitting situation and does his job, gets the single, gets the RBI. By the way, that's his second RBI of the year. And also, if memory serves correctly, that's his first one that he's actually batted in. The other one was walked in. But 9-6, still nobody out. Runners on second and first. And the Mariners are trying to make a game out of this. Jaron Lovely's 0 for 3, struck out his last 2 times up. Here comes the first pitch to Liz. Certainly not shown that same kind of command. Again, he did pitch 3 days ago. So perhaps a little bit of that kind of coming into it, but he has a 1-0 count now here to Lovely. Left-handed batter. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. He'll take there. It's right there on the inside corner at the knees. Strike 1, 1-1. Lovely trying to improve on what has been a 3-0-1 coming into this game. He's 0 for 3 on the day, trying to improve on that, get his first base hit. Check back here to second. The 1-1 pitch to him is outside, ball 2. Tell you what, though, he was kind of helped out. I mean, Daryl Hicks was by a double play. After he gave up the home run, he struck the next guy out, walked the following batter, and then Steven Fitzsimmons grounded into a double play right to the shortstop to retire the side, but he got out, kind of bitted out by that one. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Off the bat, a Lovely into right field. It'll drop for a base hit. They will go ahead and send Chris Myers to third. They'll hold him there, and the bases are loaded. Nobody out, and now the Mariners are in business. All full, all aboard, load them up, and take your aim as now Logan Adams comes back in. It's a single there for Lovely. And Logan Adams had a 2 RBI single back in the sixth. He tried to extend that single into a double. Daryl Hicks came in with nobody out, bases loaded situation. Struck out 2, then allowed that to Adams. So Daryl Hicks and Logan Adams in a very similar situation here, bases loaded, facing each other. See if Adams can get to him again. Here comes the first pitch to him. It's inside, but called a strike. 0-1. 9-6 your score. Mariners have gotten 10 hits to 14. And just when you thought it was over, just when my voice started to have losing Donovan voice, not winning Donovan voice, Mariners are back in business. 9-6. Nobody up and warming up in the bullpen for the Copperheads. Here comes the next pitch to Adams. It'll be called there on the curveball inside corner. 0-2 quickly to Adams. Adams is 1 for 2 on the day with a walk as well. He got caught trying to stretch a single into a double back in the sixth. That was the second time he's done that this season here on this homestand as well. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to him. Cuts and misses. He'll go down swinging. Just a little bit of a booster there to Daryl Hicks's head there. Just kind of get his ego back in check as it seemed to have fallen very low. His morale, that was the word I was looking for, not ego. His morale kind of fell low, but now with a strikeout there, he's still got 1 out. Base is still loaded for Mackenzie Hicks. He is 3 for 3 on the day, by the way, is Mackenzie Hicks. Home run in his last at-bat. Mackenzie Hicks has not been stopped here in this one. We'll see if he can get to it again. 9-6 your score. Daryl Hicks delivers to Mackenzie Hicks. Strike 1 right there on the inside corner. Then all suddenly that inside part of the plate has been found there by Hicks. It was something the Mariners pitchers have tried to get to, but they haven't been able to. But now Michael Daryl Hicks has been trying to get to it. Daryl Hicks delivers. Mackenzie Hicks takes a pitch. Looked a little bit low to me, but they'll call it strike 2. 0-2. Mackenzie Hicks now on an 0-2 count will be looking to stay alive here with the bases loaded and not give up a golden opportunity to get his next base hit. He's got 3 for 3 on the day. Here comes the pitch. He tries to hold up the appeal. Did he go? No, he did not. That one bounced out in front of the plate. Count goes 1-2. That certainly did not go. I could have told from here. He did go around slightly, but not enough to be called, especially not from that second place position. Again, only a 2-man umpire crew here. One that works behind the plate and one that works the bags. Here comes a 1-2 pitch, though. Daryl Hicks gathers, delivers to Mackenzie Hicks. Outside and low, ball 2. 2-2, and now Mackenzie Hicks doing a great job of working that count full. But he still has a 2-2 count, though, but he's working himself in it. He calls time and steps out to fix his batting glove. He'll step back in. Mackenzie Hicks, not a very big man in stature. He is only 5'10", the man from Echo, Alabama. Tends Troy. Daryl Hicks delivers the 2-2 pitch. Popped high, foul, and out of play past the first base dugout. Count holds it 2-2 to Hicks. Just fended that one off to stay alive. Slapping it out of play. Daryl Hicks versus Mackenzie Hicks. Mackenzie Hicks is 3 for 3 on the day. Is yet to be jumped on here. He has been able to get a couple of singles and a home run. 2-2 pitch, 1 out. Here comes to Hicks. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikes out for Daryl Hicks. And there's now 2 away. You know what I always say, my cardinal rule is if you get the bases loaded with nobody or 1 out, you should probably score 2. They got the bases loaded with nobody out. And now it's back-to-back strikeouts. And that'll bring up Van Acker. He's 1 for 3 on the day with a couple of strikeouts and a single. Here comes the first pitch from Daryl Hicks to Acker. He'll look at an inside high ball there. 1-0. Nine to 6. Copperheads on top of the Mariners here, but the Mariners with a bases loaded situation have a chance to draw closer if Acker can get himself a base knock here. Here comes to him. It'll be a nice curveball right there in the inside corner. 1-1. Suddenly, with the bases, it's like with the bases loaded, Daryl Hicks has turned on here. He's found that inside part of the play. He's also had a couple good calls go his way. But now it's a 1-1 count here to Acker. Here it comes. Catching that same spot. Looked a little bit inside, but It'll be called strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's really hard to find an inconsistent zone. Reminds me of that SpongeBob moment where we're not talking about this, we're not talking about this, we're talking about this, and he just draws crazily. That's what the strike zone has looked like here today. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It'll be just a bit outside. I swear that one was called a strike before, but now it's a 2-2 count with 2 outs. Acker trying to get aboard here, try to bring in a run, or 2 with a knock, or would be a golden opportunity for his first triple or his first home run of the season. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to him. He swings and just fends this one off. Count goes 2-2 now to him with 2 outs. The eyes on the season. 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's 9-6 the score. Here comes the pitch to Acker on the 2-2. Taken there low, ball 3. 3-2, the count is full. There's a lot of pressure on both Mackenzie Hicks and Van Acker in this situation. Mackenzie Hicks, you certainly don't want to walk the guy because that would bring in an easy run for the Mariners. Acker, you certainly don't want to swing at anything. You don't want to let your emotions get to you. You don't want to let your adrenaline get to you. And the payoff pitch is swung and tapped back to the screen. Count stays full at 3-2 with 2 outs. 2 teams battling it out here in this one, as it is 3-2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's 9-6 Mariners trailing, but they've had their chances here. This, I believe, is the 3rd time they've had the bases loaded in this game. Twice with no outs. First time they were able to score 2, but that was with 2 outs. Now we'll see if they can do that the same here. As the 3-2 pitch to Acker. Inside, ball 4. That will bring in Chris Myers. And Van Acker will get his RBI number 7 of the season. And we now head to the top of the order. The base is still loaded with 2 outs. It's now 9-7 for the man, Blake Crossing. Man who is 0 for 2 on the day. Has sacrificed ground out RBI to the shortstop back in the 3rd. Grounded into a double play in the 5th, but walked in his last time up. He goes again batting left against the righty as the switch hitter Crossing. Trying to deliver here. Here comes the first pitch to him. It's tapped and slow chopper down the first base line and foul. 0-1. Crossing has 11 RBIs, or correction, 12 RBIs on the season if you count the one here today. He's looking for number 13 and possibly 14. 13 and 14 would tie it. 15 would give the Mariners a lead. But he's just thinking, just keep the inning going. Drawing a run somehow. Crossing, stepping in back left, going up against the righty. Darrell Hicks steps back on. Bases loaded. 0-1 pitch. Outside, ball 1. Crossing has been seeing the plate very well here as of late. Entered the day with 320 batting average with a 383 on base for a 1-1 pitch to him. He checks his swing as it bounces low, and it just got blocked up there by the back foot of Holmes. Tell you what, that one to the backstop would have brought the Mariners back within 1, as on the bag over there is an account here to Crossing. Hicks steps back on. Darrell Hicks loads it up and delivers the 2-1 pitch. Outside, ball 3. 3-1 now the count here to Crossing. He's going to get a good pitch here to either swing at. If it's not what he wants, he'll have a chance to take all the way. If it's called a ball, he walks in a run, brings the Mariners back within 1. Could knock in a couple here. We'll see what he does. Batting left here, 3-1 count. Darrell Hicks gathers it up. Cocks it, loads it, fires it, 3-1. It's called ball 4, and RBI walk there for Crossing, and we're back within 1. It is now 9-8. There is somebody up and throwing in the bullpen now, and this might be the day for Darrell Hicks. An RBI walk there, as Crossing will go now to, I believe it probably will be Steven Fitzsimmons, but we'll see here. This could be the day for Darrell Hicks. It's now 9-8. Game over for Darrell Hicks. It will be a 4-out save attempt here with the bases loaded. We'll see who the new man is coming in. You're listening to Mariners Baseball right here on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. So on the mound with his boys from the infield all squatting in around him, trying to encourage him to try to get the 4-out save with a bases loaded 2-out situation. Enter the mound, Austin Weaver. For the Copperheads, he is 2 for 2 on the season, a 2.81 ERA. This will be his 9th appearance, 16 innings pitched. He is a 20-12 strikeout to walk. A new pitcher on the mound here, getting ready to go to work. He will be going up against Stephen Fitzsimmons, grounded into a double play, his only time up. That was a 6-4-3 double play, a good base hit. Stephen Fitzsimmons can deliver in these situations. He also could just draw a walk and bring in the tying run, who, by the way, as that's strike one right there on the knees. This is a very heart pumper now, as it is 9-8 here in the bottom of the 8th. Mariners will try to hold that as Austin Weaver goes for the 4-out save. Just a bit outside, 1-1 now to Fitzsimmons. The runners aboard, by the way. On first, it is Blake Crossing, Van Acker on first, and on second is Jaron Lovely. And this one is swung on, tapped back to the screen. Count goes 1-2 to Fitzsimmons. Fitzsimmons again grounded into a double play his last time up. Right to the shortstop. He now has a chance to drive in at least one run. Could drive in the go-ahead run, which is Van Acker on second. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It bounces out in front of the plate, blocked up there nicely by the catcher in Combs. Evens up now at 2-2 with 2 outs, 9-8 your score. Fitzsimmons steps back in, batting left against the righty Weaver. Weaver, as this one is fouled off to the screen, staying alive is Fitzsimmons. Weaver, by the way, he's 2 for 2, man who attends St. Edward's, Georgetown, Texas native. 4-out save opportunity for him as he steps off. It's Crossing on first, Acker on second. Lovely sitting there, the tying run on third. The go-ahead run would be Acker on second. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Taking all the way, it'll be just a bit outside. The count is full here to Stephen Fitzsimmons. And we'll see now with a full pitch how Stephen Fitzsimmons and Weaver approach this one. The 3-2 payoff pitch. Tapped here towards the second baseman to throw over to first to get the out, and it will retire the side. Fitzsimmons grounds into a 4-3 ground out, and Weaver will be able to come in for the rest of the save in the bottom of the 9th. Mariners back within 1, though. It's 9-8 as we head to the top of the 9th. For the Copperheads, due up. It will be Joe Stewart, Scott Combs, and Noah Weiner. Correction, it will be Cesario who came in defensively for Weiner. You're listening to Mariners Baseball right here. We'll see if they can hold on and then come back at the bottom of the 9th. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So the new pitcher on the mound is getting his first time on the mound as the Mariners are seeming to want to experiment with anybody and everybody on the mound. But not a lot of options as the bullpen has kind of gotten thinned out with some injuries. So Jaron Lovely comes out onto the mound. He comes from center field to the mound. R.J. Williams will go out to the mound now, as here comes the first pitch from Lovely to the man, as this one's high and inside to Joe Stewart. Joe Stewart, by the way, he is 3 for 4 on the day. His only time that he wasn't, quote-unquote, safely. He did reach on an error back in the second and a couple of singles as well. 2-0 quickly here to Lovely. And this one is now cutting on. Correction, Lovely has a 2-1 count now to Stewart. It's been interesting. These past couple days, we've really been experimenting, I guess the Mariners have, with runners on the mound. This one is fouled off past the press box here on first base side. Count evens up now 2-2 to Lovely. All started with Chris Myers against St. Clair in the first game they played against St. Clair in Canada. Myers came out, struck out all 6 batters he faced on a relatively efficient count. This one's low and inside here, 3-2. And then yesterday against the Monarchs, they put both Jake McCall and Evan Spry out there. Both of them had pretty good outings. This one is a high pop back and out of play down the first base line and right side of the field. Count continues full at 3-2. Again, 9-8 the score. Mariners only are within 1 run. And if they can hold this, they'll give themselves a nice chance to try to go at it in the first. This is another high fly ball. It will go into left. Coming over will be Fitzsimmons making the catch, and the first batter is retired. And now that'll bring up an 0 for 4 man in Scott Combs. Actually, yes, Scott Combs, number 11, steps in. Right-handed batter going up against left-handed pitcher in Jaron Lovely. He is a left-handed thrower, so he'll be pitching left. He pitches the first one there. It's fouled back and out of play. 0-1. When you bring these position players on, you just kind of want them. There's 2 things you really want from them. Or a couple things you really want from them, I should say. 3 or 4. Throw strikes. Get soft contact, either ground ball or pop-ups. And just don't give up the long ball. Just have them go out there and work. Don't try to do anything too fancy. Don't try to experiment with pitches in these situations. Just hold it, throw some fastballs, give him either something to tap or just, if you can, strike him out again. With Chris Myers, a man who hasn't pitched since his senior year of high school. He struck out 6 batters, all of them which he faced, so it's 1-1 now. Here comes the pitch. This one just a little bit inside and high. 2-1 now here to the man in Scott Combs. Struck out 3 times here today and also flown out to left. Lovely delivers the 2-1 pitch. Tapped here towards the third baseman. Myers gathers it up, throws it across the horn, and 5-3 there. 2 up, 2 down for Noah Weiner. Or actually, it'll be Cesario. Or not even Cesario. Yeah, it is. Thomas Cesario, number 2. He is an all-star with a .367 hitting percentage and a .492 on-base percentage. 4 extra base hits and no home runs. A man who attends Lee University from Cottontown, Montana. Here comes the first pitch to him. Oh, my goodness. This is a high fly ball out to center field. It's going back and just out of play, and goodbye. Well, there's never a good time like the present for Cesario to get his first home run, and it'll be right there off of Jaron Lovely. Cesario gets his first at-bat of the game, and it's a homer right out to center field. It was high, it was deep, and it is gone. Mariners now down 10-8 on the solo shot by Cesaro. Thomas Cesaro. And now it's 10-8 for the Copperheads, and the first pitch there is a ball to Jack Longo. He is 1 for 2 on the day with a single. He's also been hit by a pitch and walked. Strike 1 called here to him as it's 1-1. Again, 10-8, nothing the Mariners can't try to overcome. They've already scored 2 in an inning already. They actually scored 3 in the last inning, and they've come back from worse as this one smoked right to Myers. He bobbles it out, and no throw. That'll be a fielding error there on Myers. It kind of hit him in the leg. But he had a pretty good opportunity. He just misjudged that. That should be the 3rd error on the day for the Mariners. I believe it'll also be the 2nd on Myers. So Longo reaches on an error there. It's an E5. And that will now go back to the top of the order. And Mason Nadeau. Mason Nadeau is 1 for 3, struck out one time, and he's a couple of singles as well. He's had 4 plate appearances now in 4 innings. He came in defensively for Ty Sunken in center field and then has had a good day as he takes ball 1 there. A little bit inside, 1-0. Ty Sunken started the game, but he was replaced in the 5th inning by Mason Nadeau. It was defensively, now offensively. As a runner on first in Longo, we'll see if they decide to run with him. This one is a little bit high, bouncing though 2-0. Lovely. Again, getting his first appearance. He's given up his first home run of his collegiate career and also his first earned run of the Mariners season against him again in his first plate appearance. 2-0 now the count. He delivers. That'll be tapped right here to Lovely. Makes the catch on the hop. Throws over to first. And the side is retired, but not before 1 run is added to the lead. 10-8 now on the solo homer by Thomas Cesaro. 1 man was left aboard. No errors. And Cesaro grounds 1-3. Nadeau grounds 1-3. We now head to the bottom of the 9th. Mariners only trailing by 2. They've come back from worse. I got to imagine it'll be Austin Weaver or perhaps somebody else trying to come out and complete this, get the save. Due up for the Mariners, it will be Jake McCaw, Chris Myers, and R.J. Williams, if that is who actually comes up. This is Mariners Baseball live on YouTube. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Austin Weaver will come out to now try to complete the save. He had to get the last out of the most recent inning. And he now comes out to try to complete the 4-out save. He's got Jake McCall due up first. McCall is only 0 for 1, but he's drawn 3 walks in this one in his last 3 plate appearances. He tries to get things going for the Mariners as they try to come back from this 2-run deficit. All they need is 2 to tie, 3 to win. And we'll see if McCall can start that run. Here comes the first pitch to him. It's outside, but it's called a strike. 0-1 quickly to McCall. It's been a almost 3-hour game now. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to him. It's outside. Ball 1. 1-1 now the count. We're going on about 2 hours and 50 minutes of play here, just about. As McCall will look in and get the 0-1 pitch. This one is low. 2-1. 2-1 now the count. If this result holds, the winning pitcher would be Michael Darrell Hicks. The save would be given to Austin Weaver. And the losing pitcher would be Joshua Riggs as he delivers there. 3-1 here to McCall. That's if these results hold, but the Mariners still have one last chance to tie or take a lead and win, actually. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. High, ball 4. And so for the 4th straight plate appearance, McCall draws a walk. I can't wait to see what his on-base percentage looks like when I go to update the stats on my sheet tomorrow. It's going to look pretty. As he entered this day with a 432, that is all and improved. As now Chris Myers steps in. He is 1 for 3 with a walk as well. Here comes the first pitch to him. He will swing and miss. Count goes 0-1 to him. Got to be a little bit more patient if you're Myers. Take your walk. Get aboard. Get this thing going. You've scored 3 in the last inning. You've fought hard. You've had a lead twice in this game. Try as he looks at one inside here. He skips out of the way of it. It'll be now 1-1 here. For the Mariners, you've shown you can fight. All season, you've shown you can fight in these long ones. Now, can you finish this? Get this one here again, as Myers will get one thrown past him here. Count now goes 1-2. Austin Weaver over Chris Myers. Myers represents the tying run as he watches that one go outside, 2-2. The potential go-ahead run and winning run would be R.J. Williams, who stands on deck. Here comes the pitch, and it's a high pop, foul and out of play towards the concession stand on the third base side. Count goes 2-2 here to Myers still. If Myers can get aboard, he would be the tying run, and potential winner would be R.J. Williams. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Off the bat of Myers here into left field. Coming in, though, will be the left fielder to make the catch. Solid contact. We've seen this story before. And it will be an F7 in the end on Myers. There's now one away with a runner on first. I'll bring up R.J. Williams stepping in. He is 1 for 1 on the day. RBI singled back in the 8th, his only plate appearance when he came in on a pinch hitting situation. What would have been the pitcher spot when Joshua Riggs was replaced by Loudermilk? It would have been the pitcher spot. He came in and then went into center field. Here comes the first pitch to him. He'll look at the strike one there. Looked a little bit low, but it'll be called strike one, 0-1. Runner on first. R.J. Williams now represents the tying run with 1 out. Here comes the next pitch to him. He swings and misses. He's quickly down to the count, 0-2. Jaron Lovely due up next, provided no double play. 0-2 now the count. R.J. Williams steps back in. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. He'll take strike 3, called right there on the inside corner, and the Mariners are down to their last out. They've battled, but are they out of fight? That is the question, as we now have 2 outs, and the Mariners are down only by 2. They've continued to fight all game, but they just run out of gas in the tank. We'll see now as Jaron Lovely steps in, 1 for 4 on the day with a single, couple of strikeouts as well. Lovely came in to pitch in this last inning. He'll take strike 1 there. Oh, suddenly everything is a strike. But that was definitely a pretty decent strike. It's just Weaver cannot seem to miss the zone. 0-1 now the count. Here comes the pitch. Lovely cuts and misses. Mariners are down to their last strike. Ten to 8. Mariners trying to find some sort of imp, as this will be called strike 3. And the Copperheads will win, and they snap a losing streak here against the Mariners. The 3rd time a team has been able to snap a considerable losing streak against the Mariners. It's kind of become a reputation at this point. Mariners fall 10 to 8 in this one. They will fall to 15 and 14 on the season, and they will drop to 5th in the division. Mariners baseball live on YouTube. Your losing pitcher for this one will be Joshua Riggs. Winning pitcher will be Michael Darrell Hicks, and Austin Weaver will get the save. Mariners player of the game will be Mackenzie Hicks. He was 3 for 4 with a home run and a couple of singles, also struck out. And the Mariners just could not find that last bit of runs to try to come back in this one. They fought all game, which is a good sign for them. They continued fighting, but some bad bounces, some potential bad swings and misses. And that will be this one. Again, there's a couple plays definitely could have been avoided. Some errors in this one. Everything kind of hurts. But they'll come back here to try to even up the series against the Southern Ohio Copperheads. And they dropped this one. You've been listening to Mariners Baseball live here on the Mariners Media Network. I'd like to thank you all for listening. Have a wonderful night and go Mariners.